get ready for the next battle, ladies and gentlemen. Say them, and those in between. My name is SVF Darko, coming at you live here at Dabble Productions, bringing you our golden paddling pool. Now, before we get too ahead of myself, I am joined by a very good friend of mine.
Hello everybody, I am Fufu again, joined here by the lovely Dark. We have a match up and ready, you guys. We are doing paddling pool, golden paddling pool 280 here on Dabble Productions. Just as Dark said it, I'm incredibly excited to bring you guys your first match here. Weight-Breaker versus my fourth side quest. Who's taking side quests? Someone's taking side quests.
I mean, with some of the plays I see a lot of these players do these days and all of the craziness, they might as well be doing side quests. But yes, as you said, it is Weight-Breaker versus my fourth side quest. I vaguely remember Weight-Breaker. I was just telling people this before we came on that I'm pretty sure I casted their set, I think last week, but that's besides the point. First off, we're going to Zones on Robo Ramen.
Already off the bat, it looks like we're just going to be seeing this map directly in action. It's been, cool, I know that guy. I was like, wait, I had to pause. That's probably weird too. But oh my god, we're seeing a leader. Blast. Oh, Dark, catch me. Get me. You need to get me. You need to like pull me back right now.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the leader, I knew exactly what your eyes were going to be focused on. But no, these teams are already out the gate, heading over mid, trying to get control of the zone. Weight-Breaker does get first control of the zone as they're trying to fish out any other plays by fourth side quest to see exactly who's going to be going down next. As they do get one pick and are moving on to trying to collapse their weight on the reigning members of side quest.
Indeed, and this zone is continuing to be held strong despite the efforts of my fourth side quest here. Weight-Breaker just being able to keep this map blue here as more picks toggle around onto the field left and right here. That is 2 down for Weight-Breaker here, but again, they have so much turf in their control right now that they're just able to keep it going as the rest of their teammates are making their way back. But it looks like my first side quest is going to start making their way back to the zone, and I think they're going to be capping it here.
A beautiful flip right off the gate by side quest as they managed to get it down before any other damage could be done. 47 points remaining for Weight-Breaker. That's a very good opening push, but can they keep that lead for long as now time is ticking for side quest as they're getting more and more points. Weight-Breaker has to do something right now if they want to at least get some penalty points on side quest down. They get one pick and they're already moving in to get any other picks with them with the Reef Slider and the Bubbler and a few other specials. That's going to be zone cap.
Indeed, that cap returning back in the favor of Weight-Breaker and with some picks to call for it here, which allows him to be put back in a really optimal position here. If they're able to keep my first side quest in a lockout position, then they're just going to be smooth sailing to these penalty points being gone.
A lockout is exactly what Weight-Breaker wants right now, as now their penalty points are about to be chipped away. They do get another pick off side quest, as that E-leader is just amounting massive pressure, but that's a trade up for 2, but 3 goes down for Weight-Breaker. Side quest does a beautiful job to turn the tides, and with a few specials on the Kraken, not going to be one to control the zone, but they're going to look to try and get a few picks, and they get 2 off the bat, and they get 3!
Dude, it's like, hey, they lost the zone in the process. However, that makes so much more space here for their teammates as they come back here. An excellent crack in there from that leader on Weight-Breaker. I love me some custom leader gameplay, and this is just showing for it. Never underestimate the power of a leader, my beloved. And it looks like Jet's going, see, this is what I'm talking about. Even the Jet got taken down by a leader, my beloved. Maybe I'm glazing, but like, oh my god, can you blame me?
You know, I'm always fearful of any type of charge of the right hand. They just get a beautiful pick right there off the machine. 2 more down for side quest as Weight-Breaker is just going to be going in and trying to choke them out here and out as we head with the final 20 ticks of this point remaining. Zone still in the favor. The Inkjet comes out, but I don't think that's the thing you want to do right now as Reef Slider comes in, creates more space. It's Havoc for mid as the Booyah goes on to try to contest it, and they do stall it up, but it's not enough as Weight-Breaker takes his first game.
Oh my goodness, what an excellent game here from Weight-Breaker being able to grab that first game. Once they were able to grab that hold, I think, oh my god, I love the stall with the Kraken so much, it's not even funny. I just love the ability for Weight-Breaker to just be able to hold it. There's like, okay, this is ours, you know, it may get a little rough here, however, we got it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that Kraken play on their side of the map was really the turning point for them. Getting a 3-for-1 deal, I think that really solidified. I think people always like underestimate how powerful Kraken can be if you just like let it be.
They found themselves in a really good situation, like because two members were together here, and they were able to kind of through, and even luckier around to find a third pick. And you know what's even funnier? The fact that they were alone, they were the only player standing on a Wavebreaker at that moment as well, which makes it an even better play in my opinion. That's so cool.
That's going to be a serious blow for SideQuest, but they still have a few more chances to get themselves back into the game as we head to game number 2, Zones on Shipshape Cargo Company. Now, I actually kind of... I kind of actually like this. I like this map mode specifically. The platforms above the zone, I think, is really creates a lot of the zone control that you really need to be abusing, because you could just hide under the platform, or you could standing right on top of it and someone's under you, and it's just that cool battle that I like to see.
Yeah, it gets a little silly here because, if you're able to take control of the two top areas there, you're pretty much with sailing, because you have basically control of mid over doing that. You can capitalize on that and then move forward. You're good for a lockout. Lockout can also get kind of nasty on this map if you're able to utilize it. So it really is who's holding the zone, who's going to be bringing those lockout situations out to the max here. And I feel like Wavebreaker's leader is going to have a really nice say on this. But I think they also have a pencil right there, which does get outranged, but it does bring a lot more turf to the field. So that can also be a great turning point here on a map like this. Love it. It's risky, but it works.
Yeah, I think you said that too well, Fufu. That I think turf control is definitely going to be the key here, especially for this map specifically, because you said it's a map that gets very easily lockout heavy, as you really only have 2 points of intersection to get to mid. You have that main channel in the mid, which is like a choke point before you get to like the bigger area leading to mid, or you have the right grades where it's a bit risky, but it could get you to mid and circumvent a lot of choking hazards in mid, but you're on grades, and that's not really where you want to be. But we see already a few new weapons. I see the Zinc Mini.
The Mini is an interesting pick. I feel like that bubble's going to be utilized, but we also have a junior on the side of Wavebreaker that I think has a similar idea to use that bubble to just help create a lot of space, especially, in that zone, which we're already seeing it out on the field. That was a very quick bubble there from each side already coming out, just trying to get those first impressions in, just trying to see if they can make a huge advantage here for their team, as every special in the book is coming out.
One goes down on each side. Specials are online and being used almost immediately. And even though Tactical is online for SideQuest, Wavebreakers are going to be able to get this zone flip and are going to be on the offensive already, looking to see exactly who's going to be re-engaging from SideQuest and who can they pick up first. Especially with that E-leader pressure, creating so much space for the Tetris, for the Junior. It's a very hard combo to try and push through, especially with Kraken, as they get another 2, potentially third pick here.
But the last target has jumped out there before they could go down right there, allowing for just so much space for Wavebreaker here. But Zukas are coming out. Nope, that's going to be a trade on each side as Wavebreaker places a bubble on their zone to try and keep this a lot more here, as members of 4 SideQuest are starting to make their way and just trying to find an ounce of space here to work off of.
This is where we're saying it kind of gets lockout heavy. Wavebreaker is doing a very good job keeping SideQuest out for as long as they did, taking the points all the way down to 30 off of a single hold. That's very impressive, especially in this mode, in this map where things can stall out very easily. But now both these teams are re-engaging against each other once again. Wavebreaker looking to see exactly who's going to be next on their target, who's on their hit list to try and go after first, and especially with the crab take comes out and a notch shot in midair. That's going to be a big momentum shift into their favor.
Indeed, and we love those picks. And he has extra picks to call for this leader is not done with this Kraken moving in forward here, finding that extra pick. Again, Wavebreaker is in control of the zone once more, and they, or not. We turn this around, commentator's curse. I see you, SideQuest.
A dramatic shift for Wavebreaker into the favor has been suddenly flipped once again as SideQuest now holds the advantage. But the Resider comes in, gets a pick, potentially a second, before eventually getting traded out. But I do believe they had Tactical, so that trade out isn't necessarily a bad thing right now. As right now, both these teams are desperately trying to get control over the zone right now. As now SideQuest is closing in on that lead, potentially even taking it right here and now. No, they managed to unfortunately lose control right at the last second, and now both these teams are desperately trying to maintain control as best they can, and SideQuest barely manages to win that fight out, and now they're in the lead.
Yep, and they're able to just find an advantage point through this. See the Sweepsider come in from Wavebreaker to try and make a lot more space here, but then unfortunately getting picked up. That applies a man advantage here for SideQuest, which might allow them to keep that zone once more. Wait, it flipped at some point. They have penalty points.
Yeah, I think in that skirmish when the Reef Slider came in, it was just enough paint for Wavebreaker just to like instantly flip it before SideQuest instantly flipped it back to at least still contention, and it caused a bit of a dramatic shift as we see right now. Wavebreaker now with Kraken online, Crabtake online, they're exuding massive pressure as they're slowly pushing SideQuest back, without a pick of their own, unfortunately.
Ooh, they rotate back there, just barely being able to get it out of a tricky situation there. But it looks like Wavebreaker's bringing out the specials, trying to find some picks here. These Tetris are feeling whimsical, just trying to get any pick that they can. But it looks like Wavebreaker's also down on one of their members, but still in control of the oh, what Zuka! Zuka just fighting a pick from the depths here, allowing SideQuest to get control of that zone once more. They are planning on maintaining this lead. They want this game here.
And I think that Zuka is really going to be their key to victory here. As SideQuest going into an E-leader, you need every range advantage you can, and that Zuka is the only one that can actually contest it. Especially you want to try to get those picks early on the E-leaders so they don't have Kraken ready for another like 3-man, 2-man for free. And as we head to the final minute, Wavebreaker has majority control over the zone right now, but it's being highly contested, especially with that pencil in the backline. Kraken and Crab are being used right now to try and create even more space, and they do get one pick. Wavebreaker is also down a player, but the bubbler is gonna be enough to try and stall out a little bit longer as Wavebreaker keeps losing players one by one.
Oh, but just by the edge right there, SideQuest being able to grab that zone once more, just getting, you know, if they can just hold us for the next 30 seconds, knock this out, or just make a couple, like, rounds around Wavebreaker here, this game will be theirs. Or Wavebreaker just really have to get in here and try and get this lead back, because we're seeing a lot of zone flips right now.
It's back and forth between these two teams as a hammer comes in, gets a trade out, which I don't know exactly who's going to be in favor of that right now. As we're going to see here, the final 10 seconds, both these teams are desperately trying to maintain control over zone, but the advantage is in SideQuest right now. As long as they just make that zone a neutral state, this game's going to go to theirs, and that it does!
And just like that, the game is over. The second game going into my fourth SideQuest. The score is even 1-1 right now. Already for a game, you know, we're going to our first set and they're like, no, we want this. They're going to go back and forth. They're going to be fighting for it. And I love to see it. Again, I love seeing that Zimmy. I can't even lie. It's a pick we don't see often, and it was utilized amazingly.
Yeah, I think that bubble definitely was worth its value this game, as it caused a lot of just ink denial from Wavebreaker, giving the advantage for SideQuest to just come in and skirmish a bit more, get a few more picks, or just keep them occupied long enough so that way they can retake zone again. And even though we did see a backfire right here with the Kraken getting 2 for 1 special, it still was worth its value.
Oh, absolutely here. Honestly, it looks like this game, after like both of these teams were able to get to like maybe like the 30s, 20s here, it turned into a huge skirmish here of control here, because there was a lot of, hey, no, this is ours, no, this is ours, a lot of flips left and right. So it's like my fourth quest was able to hold it just enough longer and apply, you know, do a couple rounds around Wavebreaker to apply the extra penalty points in order to take that win. And, you know, we're still moving on to the one we all know, we're playing Hagglefish zones. I love me some Hagglefish zones, which is great for both of the backlines that are on the field.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Hagglefish zones with E-leaders specifically is gonna be such a hard thing to fight against. You have to be sure you have your Zukas at the ready if you want to try and contest it. And of course, you still have a pencil on your side, so it's not necessarily a fight for range, but a fight for just maintaining proper zone control. Because E-leader doesn't really paint that well, especially compared to the pencil, who could pretty much cover the zone in just a few seconds from dead, while E-leader has to try and find the picks to deny that painting effort. So it's really going to be a show of who can just be the better charger with the positioning here.
And this is going to be our tiebreaker game here right ahead of us. Let's see which team is going to be coming out on top here. It looks like we're not seeing a comp change here from Fourth SideQuest, and it looks like wait, no, yeah, those were time, I think, weren't they?
I don't remember, but I do see a ZF charger instead of the E-leader, so already things have been stabilized a bit, maybe going a bit more into the pencil's favor, as now the range utility from the charger player is gone. Wavebreaker needing to just try play more aggressively here.
But ZF also allows for quicker kill time, so you can also get really silly with it here. And those strikes, even though they're not going to be as consistent as, say, maybe a splash, they're still strikes nonetheless. It can definitely help. There you go. Put a lot more pressure on the field, allowing Wavebreakers members to go in here, as we just saw here. But specialists are also getting ready here on the side of my fourth side quest here, so they might be ready to make a pushback here very soon as the hammer's going up. And went down! Just like that! These Tetras in the face, dude!
Tetra Gaming in the front line, creating such a distraction that Wavebreaker has managed to bring the points down to 40 and still counting. Bobbler and Crabtake are online in the use. This might be a just straight up knockout if SideQuest can't recover in time, as now the points have gone down to 20 remaining.
Yeah, but just as we say that, SideQuest being able to cap that zone, stopping that count at 22 here, but Wavebreaker is going to be very quick to try and take the zone back, not losing much of the footing that they had beforehand right here. As we see a little bit of a flank here, that's almost successful flank there from two members of Wavebreaker as they go down, allowing for SideQuest to recap the zone once more.
I forgot how funny the weapon pencil is. How you just have multiple chances to hit your shot to get that kill before they can even have the chance to contest you. It's crazy how that weapon's built. But we see Wavebreaker with the crab take, with the ink strikes, going in, moving in, going on the offensive right now to try and get zone control. But no, it's not enough as SideQuest managed to maintain control, but not without two of their own going down. And now Wavebreaker seeing the opportunity, they go in with the reslider, with the duelist to try and create more space, but no, it's not enough. The bubbler contains the explosion. That's not what you want to see.
Oh my goodness, just stepping out of the bubble just for a second to save yourself from that reslider was insane. But look, it's going to be a fight for the zone once more because SideQuest is getting very close to that lead, and I'm assuming they're going to want to be holding that zone, but it's not going to be enough. Side Wavebreaker here applying a hefty 42-point penalty here as we just continue to have scraps on these flanks here as you're being able to come out alive on that one. And as for SideQuest is continuing to hold the zone, but that might change with the strikes coming out.
Everyone is fighting here as we head to the final 2 minutes of this game. Wavebreaker is not letting the pressure up, but SideQuest has the paint advantage here with Pencil, with Shaw, with Mini. It's such a hard thing to try and keep constant pressure over if SideQuest can just instantly flip the zone back in their favor. And now this duelist is going in deep, trying to get a pick off the Pencil. They do get a pick before eventually getting traded out by another player from SideQuest, but they have Tactical online, so that trade out may not have been worth it in the end of the game. Is now SideQuest is moving in, but Wavebreaker holds it strong still with ink strikes.
Oh my goodness, strikes coming in clutch. I love me some strikes on Hagglefish Zones. It has the ability to do things like that, just hold that. But the rest of Wavebreaker just have to come in and follow up here as they're just taking a scrap here on the left. Oh, the duel is getting picked off by the Pencil here. I love the Pencil's ability to just engage in team fights anyways. That small bit of chip can just, not small bit, that's a whole 70, can straight up chip or kill enemies that have been tapped. And it is, oh, I love to see it being utilized here. I just, all the specials are starting to come out on the field. It's going to be a scrap for the zone very soon, I think.
Pressure is definitely building up as we head into the final minute of this game. Wavebreaker's currently at the lead, sitting at 22 points remaining, and they still have zone control right now, while SideQuest still has their 41, another 20 points behind them on top of the penalty points. So they need to hold on to this zone for a very long time if they want to even contest that lead. And it's becoming a struggle right now as there's constant fights going back and forth between the entirety of this map, meaning Wavebreaker SideQuest can't have the man advantage right here to actually contest zone. And with 10 points remaining, 2 down for SideQuest, I think that's gonna be game, set, and match as we head to the final point, and that's it.
Just like that, Wavebreaker knocking out, taking game 3 and the set. That tiebreaker going in Wavebreaker's favor. What a game! Dude, it was constant battles here. Either you're on the left, you're on the right, or you have a 30-second battle for that zone.
Yeah, there was so much going on that last game. I don't think there was ever a properly few not peaceful, but just a quiet 10 seconds for both teams to properly regroup and properly reorganize before re-engaging with each other again. There was just constant battles left and right with each player. I was having a hard time keeping up with all the action.
It was like, I think when you have skirmish weapons, you know, you had literal dualies. You had 2 dualies on one side who constantly wanted to go for a fight. The wiper also felt whimsical, so it was just like, okay, we're gonna fight over here. Wrong. We're gonna fight over there real quick. Wrong. We're fighting in the middle. So it's like we're everywhere at once, and I think that just added to the overall chaos, not only of the set, but especially on that last game. But it was Wavebreaker that was able to hold there the longest and just, you know, use their resources a little bit better here than SideQuest, allowing them to get that set win. But this, I believe we are in pool, so that doesn't mean it's the end for SideQuest just yet, as, you know, they still got 2 more sets, I believe, to get through here before groups are done here. So yeah.
Yeah, no, things are definitely aren't the end for SideQuest. They did take a game off of Wavebreaker, which could be their key to getting into. Oh, I'm sorry. That could be the key to getting into later into the bracket with that 1 extra win if they win the next 2 sets. And really, at this point in pools, you got to take everything you can. It sucks that you lost your first set, but at the end of the day, you take what you can, and that one victory could be literally making one bracket over the other.
Indeed, you know, we take those small things here, but that is the end of this set here, as we are going to have to be going on a little break before we got our next one ready for you guys, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. We got more paddling pool for you soon. Hello everybody, and welcome back here from our short break. You guys are watching Golden Paddling Pool here on Dapple. We have our next set up and ready for you guys. We have Tsunagi versus Squid Emoji. But before I get a little bit ahead of myself here, I am joined by the lovely Dark here. Do say hello.
Hello. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Nah, I'm here. I'm really excited. As you mentioned earlier, this is Tsunagi versus Squid Emoji, which off the gate, I think we're about to head in there here in just a second. First match of the set, Splat Zone on Mako Bart. I love this map mode specifically. You have the ledges, you have the verticality. I am a blaster player true and true, so this map really speaks to me.
Boo, tomato, tomato. I'm just playing. We love it. Honestly, yep, Macklemore. Yeah, I was saying something. Oh, look, there's a blaster!
Let's go!
You run, there's a blaster!
Oh, Blaster Gaming.
Oh my goodness, but oh my, as I'll say before, this map is just a staple here in comp. It's practically in every map was in existence. If it's not on there, something's happening. But already, Tsunagi is making quick waves, being able to take one of the members of Squid Emoji down already, waiting to cap the zone. There it is, that zone cap going in their favor right off the bat, but we're seeing Cooler come out for Squid Emoji, but it's not, ooh, it might, no, not gonna do too much here, as Tsunagi continues to have main control of this entire mid here.
I don't think that Tactical did much of anything, to be completely honest, being thrown out so far up mid, with Squid Emoji just being so far back. He can't really take advantage of that, as that's just one special just down for the value of a big fat zero. Sonagi now applying massive pressure, keeping Squid Emoji out as they're trying to keep control over the area in front of them. And 2 down for Squid Emoji. Sonagi is looking to try to just close this out here and now as we head to the final 30 points remaining for them.
Yep, around 50 seconds, and we have 2 members down to Tsunagi though, so this might be Squid Emoji's chance to try and take this back here, but we seem that we have 2 major painters still here on Tsunagi, and with Cooler coming out, they might just be able to hold this until the end. They're going to be fighting for the zone right here, as Squid Emoji wants to cap it, capping and applying a 66-point penalty onto Tsunagi, but immediately, just right after, it looks like it's already neutralized off the bat.
A good zone flip as Squid Emoji to get them such a huge penalty points to buy them some more time for this game, as Sonagi now down 1 player, looking to just back up a bit to get regroup and get reorganized before they try and regain Killer Well on being used, but not without 2 of their own going down, especially with that crab tank being shut down as well. That's going to be a bit of a shakeup as both the teams are trying to see exactly what's going to be the next move from each other, trying to go off of that, and 1 goes down for Squid Emoji. The machine goes out. Well, we see a jump out, repositioning jump out from the blaster, as Sonagi now has control of his zone and looking to try and collapse on any remaining members of Squid Emoji.
Yeah, we are seeing that Kraken here trying to collapse on these 2, but with a Cooler jump out to rotate and to their teammates here. We love to see that use of the quick jump. I can't even lie. Oh, that was just unfortunate.
Nothing says a momentum stalling factor than a Zuka to the face. It's Squid Emoji once again being forced on the back foot. Sonic using Killer Well. They're doing an extraordinarily well job, causing so much mayhem, so much distraction, that this Stamper is able to come in from the right side and get a pick before eventually falling back to try and make sure that they don't die to any other members of Squid Emoji. As now, that penalty points is looking very thin right now. 1 is got from each team, and the Crackers looking to create some space, which hopefully trying to contest it, but it may not be enough as their attention is too split right now. 2 down for Sonagi as they're still trying to desperately hold on to zone as best they can. It's a Zuka for game, potentially, and they get 2, and just like that, they can win this game!
That Zuka to the rescue. I think that Zuka was just sealed the game right then. They're being able to take the last 2 members of Squid Emoji up and out of the way, and what a great game, especially here from Sonagi, that was able to basically almost knock out in 1 go. Squid Emoji definitely isn't out of the game, just considering they were able to fight back here towards the middle. I love those mashing emotes, those are so good. I have to mention that. Oh my goodness.
Team coordination really is a factor we love here. I do hope one day that we see a comp team who just has a complete, all their 4 players are like in completely matching outfits or something like that. I think that would really like sell their like true coordination. But yeah, no, as you mentioned, Squid Emoji aren't exactly down to the count yet. They did a very well job keeping Sonagi back for as long as they did, but Sonagi just proved to be a little bit better in this situation. And we're gonna see exactly what adjustments might be made by these 2 teams as we head to game number 2. Once again, zones on Hagglefish Market.
We're back in the building again, dude. We're going all the way back here. I'm gonna see if we're gonna be seeing that quick entry that we saw last time, especially from Sonagi, that they were able to, make quick waves within the first, 30 seconds of the game. Get a pretty good advantage here. Nice.
I need water. You know how much water I drink. Yeah, no, like
water.
I think I go through like 2 of these in a day. Also, like shout out to all the stickers from like my time at LTC. Love them. Anyways, we're here for Dabble Productions though, so We're just seeing
Well, this is
exactly
good.
what these teams are bringing, as there is just a few minor changes, I think.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're seeing a squeezer coming out on the field, which is going to be very interesting here. We're seeing these openings already. They're already wanting to go for their coolers. We see it.
Both these teams looking to see exactly what justice might be needed to better affect their gameplay. And Sonic once again are on the offensive, looking to cap zone already, but Squid Emoji are holding on this time, trying to cause a bit of a distraction in order to allow them to take zone. But no, unfortunately, Sonic with a masterful flank from the left side, they managed to get a two-man, and they're now looking to collapse on any remaining members of Squid Emoji to try and lock them out here and now already.
Oh my god, I love their use of working in pairs here. We just saw them absolutely run up the ramp, not by themselves, but as a duo, and it just allows them to basically, you know, take those 2v1s and put them in a really good advantage spot. As you can see them basically run circles around spawn here for a bit, but that might just end as their gal just went down. But no, we still have 3 members up here on Sonic, so they might be able to just hold this still. If they're just able to keep Squid Emoji out. Team the Super come out from them anyway, trying to find a pick here. They are able to find one on the... Oh, but their anchor goes down as well.
This is a tough situation right now. Sonic are having a strong hold over mid, over Squid Emoji's side of the map. And Squid Emoji, they need to make something happen right now. There's only 10 points remaining before this game is lost, and they have 2 players down and a crack in the mid. They don't have the painting power to contest this zone, and just like that, 100-0, Sonic takes game number 2.
Sonic moving with such a force, they were able to just hold that. I mean, look at the turf difference. That's insane. They went in, they went to go get those pigs, they locked them out and said, no, did we want this game? We're back in that 2-0 fashion here with Sanagi taking it. Oh, what a good game from them.
It was such a dominant hold by Sanagi. I think what really pretty much nailed it this game for them was after that initial zone flip, they immediately went to Squid Emoji's side of the map and just applied so much pressure, virtually knocking them out within the first minute of this game, not allowing Squid Emoji to step foot into mid at all. That was such a well-coordinated offensive that I struggle to just comprehend all that.
Yep, textbook lockout fashion. It's just like, we're sorry, we have the zone. That's the interesting thing about having the objective in the center. It's just, hey, okay, you just need to hold this, and the rest of you guys can just move forward. We can all move forward here. You can send your front lines out and about, leave your supports to come and hold with the rest of the squad. Well, hold and support the rest of the squad. Excuse me. Let me reword that real quick. I went. But you know, you get what I mean. It was basically a textbook here from Sanagi being able to, you know, take a second game right here for a clean 2-0 sweep.
It was a beautiful showing by Sanagi, and of course, Squid Emoji, even though you did lose that set for 2-0, you did a wonderful job regardless. Sometimes that's the way the game flips, and there really isn't much you can do about it other than just saying we got the next game. We lost this game, oh well, you know? But
GG's go next.
GG's goes next. The tried and true, but with that clean game, quick, fast set, I think we're gonna be going on a little bit of a break here as we wait for our next set. So don't go anywhere just yet. Get your snacks, get your water, use the restroom, do whatever as we head to break. Oh, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, in between, we're back with Paddling Pool Golden. My name is SPF Dark. I'm joined by my bestie over here, Fufu, and we got our set number 3.
We got our third set here up and ready for you guys. I also need to make a note to the chat that I just won the gacha lottery. Let me be clear. Anyways, we have our set up and ready for you guys. Don't look so confused. We have Italian Tempest versus...
Yeah, go on.
Toes. Ooh, the toes, bro.
See, my only problem with Chingo and the toes is that Chingo doesn't sound like a friendly word. So, and I really don't want to try and like cause anything to happen here, but I also hate calling a team just the toes. So you really put me in between a rock and a hard space right now, and I don't know how I feel about that.
We can't go next to the peace, man. We can't do it. Like, dude, we get hit with this.
Yeah. So from here on out, I'm calling them CT. That's their code name, because CT. Yeah. Anyways.
I'll call them toes. Don't worry, I got you. I'll call them toes. I call them toes. Don't worry, I got you, bro. If no one got you, I got you, because I will call them toes. I'll take one for the squad, bro. But our first map mode here may be a little controversial because we're going to crab-like zones already right off the bat. I want to see how this is going to turn out. We are, of course, seeing interesting. We're seeing a paintbrush come out.
Paintbrush is not something you see at all in the actuality. Like that weapon it's very like hard to use, so I'm like very interested to see exactly what this paintbrush has in store for us, as both these teams are already. I forgot that weapon had missiles.
It's like, I just make you have flashbacks within like a single statement, dude. It's just like, oh, Randy, we're fighting for a minute. We're going 1 for 1 here, but it looks like the toes are going to be the first ones to have control of the zone and continue to hold the zone as we are seeing fights happen on the right there. But we're seeing fights happening just about everywhere here, as you know, toes are still in control of the zone. The points have no intention of stopping, even though picks are coming out left and right on each side. Oh, look at that shine. Look at that. You feel what's
in the lead as that paintbrush managed to get a pick before eventually getting trade out. Now Italian Tempest has the crab take at the ready, and with the zip gas going for the back line, they're looking to cause mayhem as they're going to rush in and get that zone as best they can, as we have the flip finally happening, but now without the missiles and the ink strikes. In response, 2 goes down for Italian Tempest, and CT already going in.
And look at that, just basically a wipeout here on the field from the toes. We love to see it here already on the bat, off the bat here. Listen, we're only 1:20 seconds in. Are we? Yes, I can math, I swear. But already, so we're moving really quickly here as the match continues to move forward. I think the toes are going to be trying to, keep hold of this, as unfortunately their paintbrush does go down, but they still have their control. They still have a lot of the turf under their belt here, so these penalty points are gone, and they are going to want to knock this out here.
CT having such a strong advantage right now. 2 just went down for Italian Tempest, and another player goes down, and with 10 ticks remaining on the zone, I think this game's gonna go to CT, as his paintbrush is doing absolute work in the front line, and a wipeout that goes to CT.
Oh my god, just like that, a wipeout to call for it to end this first match off with a bang. CT already coming and swinging within the first match. I love to see it. That might be grounds for this month. I want to see it.
Oh, I don't think I would have ever guessed that a paintbrush would be causing such a mess in the front lines that they're able to get 3 picks like with ease, man. That mixed me up.
Come on, brushes are meant to be silly. Brushes are whimsical. We've seen they love to take silly positions and love to be behind the opposing team, and we saw that mayhem from that brush. They just went in and said, hey, we're gonna be a little silly. And then you have the extra pressure from the blaster, and then you have the rest of your teammates that can help support and uplift both of those weapons. It was a perfect storm here for CT, and honestly, I love to see it. It was such a dominant first match.
Yeah, I think brush players, you have to be a certain kind of person to actively use those types of weapons very well. I, for my entire heart, wanted to play Extra Brush, but something about the weapon class just never clicks with me. So myself, and I can never mentally, fully comprehend how you're supposed to play those weapons, and I only give kudos to those players who actually can play Brush, Paintbrush, and Octobrush. But already, game number 2, zones on Umami Ruins. Contrary to what people might think about the majority's assumption is about this map mode specifically, I like it. I think the split zone with the med platform is very cool, and I very much enjoy it.
Oh goodness, you're a filthy umami enjoyer. Get out of here! Get out of here! I'm just like, it's a 50-50 map. Personally, it's not my favorite. It feels a little weird. However, it's not the worst of maps that we have, if I'm being honest here. But it looks like already we saw a quick turnaround here from Italian Tempest that are quickly turning the tide from what we saw the last match here, as they're going to be trying to go for that lockout to give CT a little bit of a taste of their own medicine here.
I think this might be where CTs are starting to struggle, because they didn't win this opening fight and get the opening aggression here. They're struggling to actually push up to mid, not having the proper resources to properly push forward and take control. CT is just not even be able to contest zone at all. Italian Tempest just forcing them into a lockout situation as player keeps going down one by one by one. And yes, even though Inkstrike's coming up, even though Tendril Muscles is coming online and being in use right now, it still may not be enough at the end of the day, only causing a bit more paint by paint being used. But that paintbrush found the opening it needed to get into the backline, and just like that, CT takes zone control.
And just like that, it flips over after a couple different plays. They were able to find an opportunity and, get it going here. They are going to be getting this control of the zone for the second time here, as the Paintbrush finds the little woman's goal and went for a trade here with the edit here, as Italian Tempest members are starting to make their way back here to center to try and find an opportunity themselves to get themselves out of this lockout, because those penalty points are out of the way and up and going here for CT.
Most definitely. This is a very dangerous situation regardless of who you are. Once you get zone properly controlled over and you're starting to push up that ramp area, that's the danger zone right there. Having control over that ramp means you have the power to just constantly keep them pushed back or constantly let them feed into you one by one. And it's going to be up to the defending team to try and see exactly what sources they can pull out to try and break through. But even with the tactical, even with the zipcaster, it's not enough, as CT now finally breaking through those penalty points, breaking through lead. And with that, I think that's going to be just a straight up lockout, as CT just dominated the second game. Oh,
wait, they're not done yet. They're not done yet. Wait, no, yeah, they are. My fault, chat. Already, just like that, when you thought Tempest was going to be able to get that small opportunity to maybe contest the zone, CT was just able to grab it and hold. Oh my goodness, what a set here. Just when you thought Italian Tempest was going to be able to take this game here, or they definitely had the opportunity to do so, do not get me wrong, because they brought that score all the way down to, I think it was 18 before CT was able to come down and grab themselves. But once they got a hold of, that lockup position on CT, that was it. That was just a, all the way down to 0 knockout here for CT. What a dominant 2 games here by the end of this set. And, we're back to those 2 occurs here on badly pooled groups.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of CT's success really went towards the paintbrush, because like I mentioned earlier, it's not a weapon you see at all. So I think, to that credit, not a lot of people know how to properly play against. They either overestimate what they can do against it, or they underestimate how far the paintbrush actually reaches. So you get a lot of these picks early by the paintbrush, which just leads into a snowball to a lockout scenario, which we saw both times. And even though Italian Tempest had a dominant holding over mid and over the game, that first half, the second game, CT, all they had was just the paintbrush go in the backline, get a pick, and everything just crumbled instantly from there.
It was just, all right, let's get it going. Let's get the ball rolling. And getting it rolling, they did, because they were able to take that second set and take that second game. I don't know why I'm using set and game interchangeably. It's kind of funny, bro. When they're able to take that second game here and along with it, the set. And just like that was over quick, if you ask me. That was a quick set we had in front of us.
A quick set indeed, and because it was a quick set, we're still in progress of our next game, so we're gonna go on a quick break right now. Like I said last time, get your food, get your water, use the restroom, potty break, what have you. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. A bit of a break here, but we are back here with Golden Paddling Pool coming at you here. We have banned this guy, and Italian Tempest is coming back for another one here. I am joined here by the amazing, lovely Dark. Do say hello.
What's good? It's me, your boy.
Your boy, SB Dark.
As we said, my name is SB Dark. I'm excited to be here. As you said, ban this guy versus Italian Tempest, what we just did see. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The match was already kind of slipped through my mind, so I have no idea what Italian Tempest is gonna be pulling. Some things do look familiar though.
Bro's not the thinker. Bro is simply not the thinker.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Oh goodness, but we are going in here. We are still seeing that blaster and that edit come out on the field here. A bit of almost a, I feel like Italian Tempest comp is going to be, there's a lot less paint on that comp compared to ban this guy right here. So ban this guy may just be able to use his turf to their advantage here, especially since we're playing such a turf heavy map mode here, which is very interesting to see just that difference in comps, if I'm being honest.
And already 30 seconds in, and we just barely seen a flip from Italian Tempest, but it's already being contested by ban this guy. Wavebreaker bringing out Zipcasters on the ready as they go in the back line trying to get picked. They get one before getting traded out, and now two are down for Italian Tempest. That zone is not going to be holding on for much longer as ban this guy wants to go in and clean up this zone, but no one's contesting the zone. They were at the player advantage here, and no one contested that zone. Barely now just being able to do it, but it's not enough.
Yeah, not enough as Italian Tempest, despite their much less paint-heavy comp, they're just holding the zone compared to Bandit's guy, who is just trying to go for pigs currently, but it just, I believe they're just getting punished for it. There we go, or not. What a little side battle.
We love Blaster Gaming, and finally banned this guy and gave Italian Tempest a 40-point penalty on their record. But they weren't able to hold onto the zone for long enough to do much of anything, only getting a measly 2 points onto their side of the scoreboard. But ban this guy, doing everything they can to try and maintain control, hold it as long as they can. But Tactical is online for Italian Tempest. They're moving in, and the heavy edit, putting in the work, especially with that splash wall, creating as much space that they need in order to try and maintain control.
Oh my goodness, already right off the bat, we are actually seeing that Zipcaster coming and trying to find a pick, not quite able to find it just yet, just doing what they can, unfortunately not working out the way they want. But here, Italian Tempest is also done with the penalty points. If they can just hold this, they might just be able to, bring this through, but it looks like this might just be flipping in just a second with most of the members of Italian Tempest going down, and that poor jump coming down with it as well as Bandit's guy gets their second grab of the zone.
Now, this is the momentum shift ban this guy wants. They have majority control from mid, and they're pushing up onto Italian's Tempest side of the map, pushing up on the ramp, trying to go for a lockout situation. But they're giving a bit too much space for Italian Tempest to allow them to regain space, to get a bit more control into their side. And one does go down for ban this guy. Italian Tempest, using every single special in their arsenal, clears the zone, clears the players, and that's gonna be a practical wipe as Italian Tempest now holds mid.
Yep, they're going back for this zone here. They said, no, we're not going to let you try and get this lead here. As, they are already setting up to lock out Bandit's guy. Once they got those three down, they said, all right, let's get moving, let's get going. And we are seeing a bit of specials also come on the... Whoa! What a Zuka shot. Okay, just get no Zuka shot here, but it looks like Sasha's going to be trying to take this guy out. Being taking someone else in the process, but it looks like Bandit's guy was able to get that zone in their favor while everything else was happening.
Italian Tempest are unable to actually properly fully eat through their penalty points. Bandit's guy may get in control before they can get anything more done. And now they're slowly eating away at their own penalty points. But as I say that, the zone gets flipped once again. Italian Tempest in the control, but no! Bandit's guy maintain control once again. But Tactical is online. Ingzuka and Zipcaster being used to create even more space. Unfortunately, that Splatoon Stamper gets picked off immediately, followed up by the pencil that also gets traded back. Heavy in it, picks up another trade, and Italian Tempest maintains control of mid, Wavebreaker out, and they're looking to try and close this game out here and now.
Yep, and they got around 15 ticks of penalty points left here to get through. If they're able to get through this, it might just be I mean, even extra points on that lead is really good no matter what team you are here. Oh, to the blaster fights right here. Sierra being able to find a pick, trying to find another one here on the Zipcast and not quite able to find it, but these points are ticking down here for Italian Tempest despite being 2 down right now. This pencil was no, they don't have a pencil. That and it was fighting for their life there to try to hold the zone, but it did go down to 15 before ultimately being taken over here by Bandit Sky.
35 seconds remaining in this game. Bandit Sky needs to pull all the stops here if they want to take this first game, as the Italians' momentum is just keeps building on and keeps on going forward and forward. 3 down for Bandit Sky as this stepper just keeps on going forward. It's another pick before finally going down to the blaster, and the damage might be done already as the remaining members of Italian Tempest now are set up. They're ready for this re-engage from Bandit Sky, but the blaster does blaster thing, and they get zone flip, and this is going to overtime.
Yo, if they just gotta hold it here from now, if they're able to keep Italian Tempest in a lockout position here, they might just be able to hold this through. It's gonna be a hefty hold here, and it's gonna be a lot here. But Bandit Sky, all they have to do is stay calm, hold the center. They're already done with their penalty points. They maybe have 20 seconds. They have 20 seconds to hold this, and if they can hold this, this lead is going to be theirs.
Pressure's at an all-time high right now. They need to do everything they can to try and stay alive so they can keep the zone properly painted. But with that too going down, Italian Tempest flips the zone and takes his first game.
Oh my god, and just like that, a little bit of turn goes a long way here. Bandit Sky was very close to actually grabbing this. Like, that was almost nearly in their hands there, but Italian Tempest coming in here at the last second to grab the zone, not allowing overtime to go on for too long there, taking the first game.
Bandit Sky did extraordinarily well to try and stay alive in that game for a little bit longer, but Italian Tempest was just too strong. The winds did not blow into Bandit Sky's favor as we head into game number 2, which I believe is Splat Zones on Robo Ramen.
No, that's game 3. I think we're on Mako Mart, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're on Mako Mart. Yeah. Bro, we are not the thinkers tonight.
No, we're not. I'm here I'm here to be loud and keep energy high. That's my job.
And you're doing a great job. You're doing great, Sweaty. But honestly, moving on to Mako Mart zones, I love me some Mako Mart zones. Don't get me wrong. This is, again, I've talked about it before, and I will always say it again. This is probably the most staple map mode that you're going to get in any map, any tournament that you play, especially here on Dapple, where, you know, it tests how your team play goes. It just tests just about everything. It's a well-balanced map, and you got flanks.
That is the key word many players like to hear. Flanks. That's gonna be the main of the game right here. As the two passages between each side of the stacks will be pretty much the key areas to try and poke around. Especially since these two teams have been carrying blasters. We only see one blaster for one side, and the other side I'm assuming is gonna keep that blaster very well as we see it. Because I mentioned earlier that I like this map as a blaster player. You have those ledges that you can play around on, and it can be very devastating if you don't space yourself properly.
Absolutely. If you're not careful, and just like literally as we're talking about, already one of the members of Bandit Sky going down as they're trying to make it to. They make it to. Already Italian Tempest is moving forward with such speed and aggression that they already have control of the zone. We're 20 seconds in, and we just saw a quick bunch down here on Italian Tempest. But that might change very quick with Suka's coming out, taking 2 off of Italian Tempest. This Bandit Sky, I believe, is going to be moving forward really quickly with this to cap that zone once more.
A very fast zone capture and just moving to get this pressure going. Wavebreaker and Inkzuka go out from Italian Tempest in response to try and create a bit more space to give them some leeway to try and push up properly, but it just wasn't quite enough, as now Bandit Sky has lead and are slowly taking away a few more points to get that lead extension. But as I say that, 2 going down for Bandit Sky. Italian Tempest has zone control over once again, and now they're looking to collapse on any remaining members of Bandit Sky.
Oh my goodness, yep, indeed. We seem like we're seeing a lot of back and forth here, and only like a minute into the game here, which is very interesting to see as we start up. And that lead is also going to be swapping here in the favor of Italian Tempest here. You know, all they really got to do is hold this. And right now, when you don't got penalty points in the beginning, that is your best spot to get a lot of points on the board here. Just hold the center, hold this middle, but also, you know, there's so many things you can and can't do, or shouldn't do here on zones, then just, oh my god, everything at once.
3 down for Italian Tempest. I'm pretty sure that's going to be end for their hold here in mid, as only the heavy edit is remaining, looking to try and get any sort of angle before they eventually inevitably go down. If they can go down, is they get behind the pencil and they get some pressure for it. They absolutely do go down. And now 3 down once again for Italian Tempest. I think the heavy edit positioning wasn't the right call there, as now Bandit Sky has free leeway to try take control mid and start their own pressure as they push up forward.
Yep, they're doing everything they can here. Their penalty points are also up and out of the way here. The Italian Tempest has to find something to get themselves going here. As we already seen, the shot basically making moves right there, trying to get a pick, trying to find an opportunity, ending off in a trade here. But it doesn't quite work in their favor because, you know, the Italian Tempest is 2 down and Bandit's guy had cooler. So they're back and they're flipping this lead right here. They're going to be looking to try and get this knockout here. All they got to do is hold this. I love this blaster on this Let's. It's going to help a lot to keep members of Italian Tempest up and out of the way. But they're moving as a squad trying to take this back.
This could be checkpoint here, and Bandit's guy can hold on just for a little bit longer, stopping the clock at 1. Italian Tempest is still in the game for a little bit longer. They still have the chance to potentially steal this game away from Bandit's guy as they have zone control right now. They're looking to collapse on any remaining members of this Italian Tempest. As we head for the final 2 minutes of this game, Bandit's guy has tactical already. They have total control right now, so they don't need to necessarily rush this. They can play as slow as they need to in order to try and secure this game.
Yeah, risks are definitely, this is definitely a moment where you don't want to go down if you are Italian Tempest here, as you know, everything, the game here is at stake. But Bandit's guy is going to be pretty adamant on getting the zone, capping it once more here, not allowing Italian Tempest to get anywhere close to the points that they need to take away their penalty points here. And that's going to be really good. They do have a minute 40 here to decide, you know, who's winning this game, who's not taking it. But right now, Bandit's guy is looking really well, especially considering the Italian Tempest has to knock out in order to win this.
Most definitely. 3 down, a wipeout from Bandit's guy, Italian Tempest, and are sent back to the spawn room. Trying in an unfortunate situation. They have only 12 points remaining if they want to try to cap the zone right now, but 2 goes down for Bandit's guy. Italian Tempest are quickly moving in to clean up the zone, clean up any remaining members for Bandit's guy, and they do hold on for a little bit longer.
Holding up for a little bit longer, just hold this zone. They gotta get these points out of the way. This is not the time where you want to drop members here because every member counts here. And it's gonna get really intense here because we're reaching this last minute of the game here. Italian Tempest grabbing control of that zone, not getting any more punishment on those penalty points, but going 2 down in the process. Oh my god, MX's Zukas have been deadly all game, and I need to mention that because consistently just getting picks with that Zuka every time it comes out is insane. But just as I say that, the zone also flips in the favor of Bandit's guy.
It's a fight for zone right now to try and maintain control. A few penalty points get added to Bandit's guy's count once again as Italian Tempest maintains control for the time being. But 3 go down for Italian Tempest. Bandit's guy has the special advantage right now, has tactical at the ready, and they're looking to try and lock this game out here as we head to the final 10 seconds. Italian Tempest needs to pull out a miracle play here to try and stay in this game for a little bit longer. Bandit's guy, killer well at the ready. Suction bombs, Inkzukas are being thrown out everywhere. It's constant chaos. And they barely managed to, unfortunately, not make it out in time.
Oh, neutralizing the zone, but not enough there to cap it from Italian Tempest. And Bandit's guy takes the next game on the board. What a crazy game. It was so back and forth here. Honestly, both of these teams are relatively even, but just Bandit's guy being able to bring it to 1 was huge because that means they can take a lot more risk when it comes to just simply getting a cap on the zone and just consistently applying penalty points onto Italian Tempest. It just made way for them it's just like, hey, no, we just keep applying those, stalling this out, and that ultimately helps them get that win there at the end.
That last minute of that game, there was so much going back and forth. Bandit's guy got a wipeout. Italian Tempest were holding on the last moment where they needed it to maintain control over that zone. The clock unfortunately struck 0 when the zone was neutral. Not when Bandit's guy had control, but when it was neutral. That's such an unfortunate timing for us, because I know if they had just a few more frames of time, they would have had control and that game would have gone to overtime. These teams are doing so well just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer.
just a little bit, just those few seconds or even 1 second of this game is so much. And, you know, it's down to moments like this where you realize they really are, like, why they're so much. It's those couple frames. It's those small things that either, you know, Bandit's guy that was basically saved by the bell, and Italian Tempest who just barely lost her opportunity, couldn't reach it quite in time. And, you know, it's gonna get tough. I want to see where this game 3 is gonna go, because it's gonna get really intense. Both of these teams are gonna be wanting to move forward, especially considering that the bracket is single elim right now, because we are also moving to Robo Ramen zones, baby. Let's go!
Now we're at Robo Ramen zones. Yeah, being a single elimination, the pressure is definitely getting stacked right now for both of these teams. I know for a fact that none of these teams want to go right here and now. Being knocked out first round in bracket is always such a bad feeling, and although no one wants to ever feel that loss, unfortunately, the way everything has to be set up, someone has to go home here. So, Bandit's guy or Italian Tempest is genuinely up in the air right now. Both of these teams showed exactly why they could actually take this set over the other, and it's no guaranteed showing. But I do like this map specifically because it has that under map route, and with these two blasters, I think that's gonna be a lot of playground area for them to try and poke from under to above.
Yeah, it's gonna get very tense here. Okay, there's a lot of options here on Robo Ramen, which is, so I think why it's just the overall a really love match, and we almost are seeing oh my god, we're practically almost seeing a mirror comp. The only difference is between the squeezer and the stamper here, which is oh goodness, it's really gonna come down to your coordination and the skill behind these teams, especially on this game here. Oh wait, no, they have a pencil difference, pencil and edit difference. My brain, bro. I take it back.
Yeah, no. In the moments like these, it's very hard to keep track of like exactly what these teams are bringing, especially when those last games like still fresh on your mind. But no, we're on game number 3 on this first set. Italian Tempest has lead control right now, and they have zone control as well. So they're getting a few extra points while Bandit's guy is struggling to try and get control, trying to get Temple back into their name, but it's a scatter for Italian Tempest. That Kraken didn't get much value, as now they're at 58 points and counting.
Yeah, Italian Tempest is seeming to be in their prime here, as, you know, that pencil almost single capped the zone. I didn't mention that, but immediately being capped back here by Italian Tempest, but they are getting, you know, a little bit of hit by the ink that is coming out from Bandit's guy, and, you know, they gotta set their footing down. They gotta start getting some picks here on the board, put a little more pressure on Bandit's guy, unless they're gonna find an opportunity to get in, just like that, where Zuka start coming out, specials start coming out. You give them too much time to think, and they will cap that zone.
What was a dangerous situation for Bandit's guy. They were barely managed to get the picks they need and the opportunity they need to actually go in and cap the zone and give Italian Tempest such a huge penalty point, such a huge penalty points. But Italian Tempest has control of the zone once again. Those penalty points are quickly slipping away, as Bandit's guy needs to do something right here and now in order to make sure this game doesn't spiral out of control.
Yep, you gotta keep it in hold, you gotta keep it contained. Ooh, with that Zuka to the face, being able to take one down off Italian Tempest, and one of them is already zip casting, just casting those distractions, trying to do what they can to prevent Bandit's guy from taking zone. But that pencil right before they went down, taking that zone, down 50 point extra here to Italian Tempest. You know, Italian Tempest is still. Oh, Zuka.
We love gambling, as Bandit's guy gets a very important pick with Azuka in order to really establish themselves in mid now. Now they're the ones who are going on their aggression to keep Italian Tempest out. Now they're the ones who has majority control right now, but is it enough? Can they hold it for long enough, as Italian Tempest are already contesting zone, already contesting the members of Bandit's guy to try and push them back, but Bandit's guy stands strong and they can maintain control.
Yeah, they're still controlling this indeed here, and they could just continue to hold this here despite the pressures of Italian Tempest. You know, I think that, you know, they might just be able to grab lead here because they are looking at a really nice lockout situation here, just consistently putting pressure onto Italian Tempest. The main thing is just the range difference, but they only have to hold it for maybe a couple more seconds here, and they will be able to grab this lead with this Kraken coming out to make extra waves. That is going to be a lead swap for Bandit's guy.
This is danger territory now for Italian Tempest, as now there's only 15 points remaining before this game is done and lost. They gotta make something happen right now. They're going in, but with 3 down from Italian Tempest, Bandit's guy's gonna clean up that snapper, and this game, set, and match goes to them.
And this guy with the set win. What a hold there at the end. With those extra picks, those staggering picks, just the one after the other, just putting Italian Tempest on their toes, consistently staggering them, and it's just smooth sailing from there. What? The disconnect?
that game really showed just the resilience this guy had. Italian Tempest had majority control over that game until the last minute 30, where things flipped and this guy took that score. I want to point this out. Took that score down from 100 to 0. Italian Tempest wasn't able to recontest that zone at all.
You know, Bandit's guy kept their cool right there. They said, okay, we know what we have to do. I think it was extra picks from their specials, just the general teamwork they were able to pull out there by the end, putting Italian Tempest on their toes and ultimately sweeping the rug right out of them, right from under them, and taking the set. What an incredible job there from Bandit's guy. Dude, but do give props to Italian Tempest for, you know, also taking the game off. They contested well, and they had a really good lead in the beginning, but Bandit's guy just ultimately pushing through here at the end and calling it there.
It is unfortunate that Italian Tempest is the first one to get eliminated here in bracket, but it is the name of the game. Bandit's guy did extraordinarily well. Italian Tempest, be proud that you made it this far. But I think we are waiting a little bit for our next match, if I'm wrong. So unless I'm being told otherwise, we're going to head to a quick break as we get our next match ready. So get your water, get your food, use the restroom, and we'll be right back. Ladies, gentlemen, ladies, in between, welcome back to our next set as we come back to Paddling Pool Golden. My name is SBF Dark, and I'm joined by the loveliest Fufu, and we're excited to bring you for this next match coming up.
Oh my goodness, this is so exciting, especially because I'm seeing some names that I have seen before, seen Aphrodite, I've seen them before, and I've seen Synapse and Henlo recently as well. We have Henlo Fan Club versus La KTM here, so this is going to be an exciting match here coming up. This is like, I'm like, when I see people I know, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is just going to be good. What am I going to say? This is like, whoa, what's going to happen?
Yeah, as horrible my memory is, the more I come onto these castings, the more games I actually watch, the more names that eventually do stick with me. And so, like, I think that's always a fun part for these opportunities. But we have our first match in this set, which would be Splat Zone's Mako Mart, which we saw last game. So I'm not too we're not gonna get too much into the nitty-gritty of the details. You know me, Master Player. I love this map.
I will, man. Don't worry. If you want, I will say it again. I love me some Mako Mart, dude. I love the legends. I love the extra opportunities, the extra flanks, just the way it tests your entire teamwork. It tests if one of y'all crumble, everyone crumbles. Type B. So I'm excited to see where this is gonna go because we have strong names, strong teams coming up in front of us. Hey, Dark, you got some Blaster Gaming going on.
Blaster Gaming. I'm excited to see exactly what these two blasters are gonna be bringing. The two different variant kits, by the way, might I add. So it's gonna be really showing them which one's gonna be the better blaster user here in this game. As the first blaster does go down to Blaster Gaming, Fan Club has majority control over mid, and now they're looking to collapse on any remaining members of LA.
Oh my goodness, this is already becoming a really quick push here from Hello Fan Club. Or we already see Synapse being Synapse and absolutely going in and taking those long flanks right there as Zukas are coming out. Every special on the book is coming out from KTM here, but it's not going to be enough to cap the zone, but it is enough to neutralize it as Hello is now showing their own specials here to get some picks, try to make some picks with this Kraken, but unfortunately not being able to find it just yet, as I think like ATM is going to be trying to go for the zone and capping it successfully.
Good spacing control by KTM as they were able to just wait out a lot of Fan Club's special usage and just were able to just go in and take zone almost immediately. And now they're on the aggressive and with a wipeout from Fan Club, KTM are now sitting pretty right now. They have majority control over the entire map as Fan Club has to get some work done if they want to create the space they need. But with 2 picks from the 52, they're already moving in and contesting this zone, and just like that it flips.
Oh my god, just immediately after just going for the counterattack, I love to see it. I love to see the speed that these players move at. We are already seeing the Blaster and the Gao playing silly and putting some pressure under some ledges here and just creating themselves a little bit like a front here to prevent KTM from getting too far here. Synapse, you mad lad, you're already going in, coming in, getting traded out already off the bat here. I think by Asta here, as they're just going to be trying to make some waves. Zuka's coming out, trying to find a pick, not quite finding it, but that zone is neutralized here as the K team is going to be going in, trying to catch the zone, but with the counter strikes coming in, Hello Fan Club is still in control of the zone.
And there was 3 down for KTM. There any potential momentum shift they could have gotten from that initial neutral collapse there in mid has completely gone away. Is now Fan Club has majority control right now. They're looking to try and go and collapse on any remaining members of KTM, get the picks they need to try and go clock this game down. And with 5-4-3 down for KTM, that's gonna be game going to Fan Club.
Oh my god, Hello Fan Club being able to take that hold here by the end, even despite the efforts of KTM there, because they almost had the zone again. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough as Hello Fan Club was able to just hold it through. They're like, oh, nope, we want this counter strikes and bring it all the way down to a knockout. What an incredible job.
I will say I like how these two teams are responding to each other's specials. I really like seeing how as soon as we see one strikes come out, the other strikes comes out immediately to try and neutralize that effect, and how they move off of each other's specials as well. Like once you see the Kraken, everyone scatters and tries to go for the non-Kraken player right now. I love how these two players these two teams have been playing around their specials.
It's those micro opportunities that they are trying to find here within, because this game moves so fast, especially as you get to higher level play. It goes fast. Every second counts here. And the fact that they're able to just make these split second decisions here that are either going to cost them the game or, allow them to win the game here. I love seeing just everything stack up here. That's what makes it so satisfying watching these players play. But we are going to be moving on to Splatoon's Crablet Capital. I love me some Crablet Capital, but that just might be the leader in me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, this map specifically calls for a bit more for the backline favoritism. You have the greats, which can give you even more sight lines to try and poke people who might not think you have those sight lines, and it's just generally a pretty much open map, so you got to be very careful where you're standing. And it's as a Blaster player on this map, even though I do like to add the ledges, if I sit in E later, I just know that I'm going to be in it for a hard time. But I do want to see how KTM responds to Fan Club and if they make any comp changes to try and better themselves and what they want to do.
And we're going to be finding out here in just a second because these players are up and ready to go here. Let's find out. We're going to play a little prediction. Are we going to have comp changes here on the field? It looks like... What? I love leader! I love the Wavebreaker pick on this map because the Kraken leader is not the best just because of those grades. I love the idea of just bringing in that Wavebreaker. You can, I love the extra chip. I love it, my beloved. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, the Waybreaker E-Leader is definitely going to be the preferred pick here, as you mentioned. The Greats really don't do Kraken Leader much of anything, to be completely honest, but 2 down for Fan Club. KTM are already on the aggressive to clean up any remaining members from Fan Club, keep making sure that they have KTM can maintain proper control over mid and stall out for as long as they can.
Oh my goodness, here, they just gotta keep the space, keep his timing here, but strikes coming out from Henlo Fan Club to try and make a lot more waves, especially with this Kraken, forcing the Charger to basically jump out here. That is basically a delayed wipe here for the side of Henlo Fan Club, already finding themselves taking so much of mid. I love the way that they just take all of turret control here, as K-Team had a really good opening here. What?
That was a extraordinary shot by this E-Leader who keeps this momentum going. They've got to be feeling themselves after that. From the space and the opportunities they just created, the script just got flipped for KTM, and now Fan Club is on the back foot.
My goodness, what an incredible, just the way the events unfolded there for KTM. The 2 from the leader to the extra from the Kraken to the direct with the blaster. I love it! I can't! It was 2, no, it was 2 from the Kraken, excuse me. I was like, wow, where am I going? But already seeing the Fan Club get a Kraken of their own, finding a pick, trying to make these waves themselves here, as the KTM is right there. What? I'm freaking out.
This E-Leader is absolutely gaming, as KTM is struggling to maintain control over his zone. Fan Club doing everything they can to finally flip the zone into their favor, and now they're going in with Tactical or online. They're looking to try and get any additional picks they can to try and clean this game up, but no! KTM does get 1 pick off the Zuka, and now they're going to be collapsing on Fan Club and flipping this game almost immediately.
Oh my god, we are seeing pick for picks come out on the field here as the KTM is basically 2 points away, effectively away from the lead here. They do have a bit of penalty points to go through, but if they can hold it for just a couple more seconds, that lead is going to be in their hands here. They just got to hold it. I love what, they have a lot of range. They have a lot of pressure that they can utilize here. We are seeing Aphrodite here under the ledge here to apply some pressure onto members of Henlo Fan Club as the strikes are coming out, as they're calling her to try and come and catch the zone. They don't want KTM to get any more points under their belt as that cash favors.
A quick flip over the zone. Fan Club now has mid control, and now they're looking to try and collapse on the remaining members of KTM, using Kraken to create more space to try and force the E-Leader and company back as far back as they can. But no, the E-Leader does what E-Leader does best. It just picks them off from the distance, as now KTM are looking to put on the pressure once again, moving in with the Kraken, with the Ingzuka, unfortunately getting that jump in as well. Even though they do have Tactical, this game's gonna flip immediately as KTM has holding majority control once again.
Yep, they basically got 3 down on Henlo Fan Club, which puts them in a really good position, but unfortunately with their blaster going down, they lose a lot of pressure on that ledge. With strikes coming out for Henlo Fan Club, that might just be their calling card they need to try and get the zone once more here, but picks coming out left and right. It might not last very long as KTM still has control of the zone, and with some bombs going out, that is a lot of picks down on Henlo Fan Club as they continue to stagger. This might just be a knockout here from La KTM.
I think this is very dangerous for Fan Club, as they gotta do use whatever tool they can to try and contest the zone. But I think even with the special they have on at the ready is not enough, as KTM takes game number 2.
Oh my goodness, what an insane game. What a good game. We had these teams basically fighting neck and neck to see who was going to grab the zone, who was getting this control, and I love the way as you said earlier, I love the way these teams respond to each other. If one goes down and someone else is there to even the score, they're watching each other's backs here. But it was the KTM that was able to hold more pressure here on this game here. I love the use of both the leader and the blaster, because the blaster is here on the ledge while you still have the constant pressure of a leader on the field. If you move wrong, you're going to get shot, and they definitely had the skill to show it because we saw it ourselves. But Henlo Fan Club also did an amazing job here because they had the same principle. Hey, what if we hold the zone? They still tried to make that pressure. I love the use of the strikes here, but it just wasn't enough against that KTM on this one. And it's going to get incredibly tense here because we're going to be going to our game 3, which is, I think we're going back to Robo Ramen here.
Robo Ramen zones. These two teams have been absolutely neck and neck with each other, doing a pretty much constant back and forth trades, not in terms of picks and kills, but in terms of just specials and how they've been playing around each other. They know when to move in when each special is being used or when each special is at the ready. And so it's genuinely up in the air which team might take this game here. And I want to see this E-Leader stay here because you mentioned before that E-Leader is at home here, and we do see the E-Leader stay for this final game.
God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. I love seeing leaders. I think what's interesting is that they're playing Respawn Punisher as well, especially in this meta. Is crazy. I admire it here, and they are still opting to stick to V leader, especially considering that they still have a Kraken on their team. I love to see it as that's 3 down on Hendo Fan Club. The K team already moving in, putting themselves in that lockout position to get themselves ready to just keep Hendo Fan Club out. They're coming in with force, and they want to keep it.
An explosive opening by KTM. Fan Club is struggling to keep up with this monumental momentum that's been built by KTM. Fan Club finally getting that blaster out of their hair, but damage has already been done as KTM is now down 50 points remaining for them before victory is theirs. Ink Strikes are now at the ready to try and at least contest that zone, but no, it's not enough. It's a scramble to try and at least get out of their spawn.
Oh my god, they are fighting for their lives back here as Hendo Fan Club is putting out their specials, putting this that's gonna be a whole major mix of confidence. That zone is still contested though, and it has to go back in the favor of Lucky Team if they don't want any penalty points apply. Wow, look at that! Penalty points applied to them here, but specials coming out and 15 ticks away from that knockout point. Are they gonna be able to get it here, or is Hendo Fan Club gonna be able to pull through and pull a miracle?
This is a very dangerous turning, but I don't think there's enough painting power from the remaining members of Fan Club, and KTM with a dominant lead takes this game and set.
Oh my goodness! What a game! What a dominant game from La KTM! Just constant picks on the field, constant pressure, and oh my god, the 3 down in the beginning to another 3 down, the constant stagger that they had on Hendo Fan Club is insane. And just So what I'm saying is, guys, we should totally be allowed to play leader again. Is what I'm saying. I'm just saying this. You see, if you got the mechanics for it, it works. We saw it happen live. That might also be my biases, but ooh, you wanna let us play leader so bad.
Yeah, and I think the Respawn Punisher definitely shone its brightest here because not only did it delay the respawn timers by a quite sizable amount, but also prevented them from building special faster than they usually are able to. The special punishment that you get from Respawn Punisher is always underestimated, and I think is always forgotten about, like most people, because it takes away a decent chunk of special when you get spatted by that Respawn Punisher, because you have less special charge when you respawn. That's more time they have to stall you out before you can actually build up that special again.
That's if they don't have cooler, that is. But even then, it was utilized incredibly. Honestly, what an entertaining game here we had. I love to see it. I had an absolute trip because, you know, I get my leader fill for the week here, and I don't know, I just love the coordination that the K team was able to bring in, just to be on the same page, have that same flow chart to, you know, okay, we get these picks, we go, and they lock them out. They got an extra 3, and they were still on the same page. They lost, even if they went down members, they were still able to, you know, okay, we keep this pressure, and they continue to punish members of Fan Club. It was just such a great, you know, just the way it all fell into place was just incredibly satisfying. I love to see it.
And KTM did a phenomenal job, but Fan Club still did their absolute best to try and stay and fight a little bit longer, but they are unfortunately eliminated here and now. So quick shout out to both these teams for doing well and doing a good job for giving us quite a showing. But with that set being finalized, I think that's gonna be it for our block. So before we begin to start wrapping things up here, there's still more paddling pool to come. We still have a whole nother half of the bracket to get through, so don't go anywhere just yet when we eventually leave out. But Fufu, give us the deets, give us the information.
You guys can find me at @SplatFufu on Twitter. Right down. Oh, I think it's can I do anything? This way, right here. Yep, you guys can find me at @SplatFufu on Twitter there for some art and commentary shenanigans. Of course, we do play a little bit of backline, a little bit of charges back there as well. So if you're interested in that, you go ahead and follow me there. Dark, where can the lovely people find you tonight?
Well, you can find me both at Twitter and Twitch at SPF_Dark, where I repost or mention random nonsense. I stream from time to time. I might be streaming today, actually. I don't know, depending on how my timings go, because I got a few errands to run. But that's besides the point. Yeah, I'm just here having a good time, playing literally whatever I can. And yeah, but we had such a blast. It's always a pleasure being here with you, Fufu, and I'm always glad to be here whenever I can. But that's gonna wrap us up. But don't go anywhere yet. We still have more paddling pool coming up right after us, so stick around and stay tuned.
See you guys.
Hello everyone and welcome back to this Golden Paddling Pool 280. We've been here for so long. I am Pat, here with Brave. Brave, are you ready to watch the quarterfinals of this paddling pool?
Yes, Pat. Very excited to be here on the mic and excited to see these great teams fight each other. We've got Facade versus Sanagi. I've commentated Facade before. They had very strong showing previously, and I'm very interested to see how the set goes.
Yeah, lots to see from these teams. Two teams that are pretty experimented, that know the game very well. And I mean, we're pretty far in the tournament. These teams are good. These teams got here fighting and got here pretty strongly. We're already getting in there, and as a reminder, this is Golden Paddling Pool. This is all zones, and we're going to start with 2 zones on Umami Runes. A very nice way to start.
We are going to see a lot of movement around here, especially the top block with his brush pick, and we also have a heavy edit and a pencil on the same team here.
Yeah,
that is wow.
Yeah, we're going to see Zipcasters from both teams trying to get in, create some disruption on the other side. This map is pretty long. If you're able to get far into enemy territory, it can pay off a lot. And right now, both teams activating the tacticalers, trying to win that first fight. Both teams just running around each other. But Sanagi looks like they are the one getting the first picks, getting forward in, and Didu Prime just getting in there, getting a few extra picks. Fasada responding fast thanks to the cooler, but it looks like the first hold over the zone is for Sanagi.
What? We do have Facade with double cooler. The brush is able to come in fast and get a triple, and now suddenly Facade has this first advantage as well, the second advantage rather, as well, and they already have another cooler out on the ramp as the shot goes down.
It's not stopping, and right now Facade has a good hold over the zone. Sanagi are kind of locked on their side. Happy getting in there, trying to win that fight, and that fight is so key right now. Facade is going to hold the zone for longer, and with Bazooka, they are staggering Sanagi. Sanagi needs to change things fast, but they need to do that as a team because all of Facade are ready for them right now.
And with both of these frontliners being coolered and being so back fast, and both coolers almost being active again, this is looking very bad for Sanagi. They're going to need to somehow get both of these cooler players out of the running or get this cap to give a penalty, but it's looking not very favorable for them right now.
Yeah, the fight is pretty strong. At least Sanagi is back onto it, but they have yet to apply penalty. You need to paint both zones for that, and right now Happy is trying to keep the dream alive, still fighting for that zone to the side right there, but it's not enough. Sanagi able to apply penalty, and they can breathe a bit easier now, but the job is not done. They have a huge lead to come back from, Brave.
Yeah, there's that, and we can't just sit here and breathe and let them get more coolers. This double cooler is, they are always going to be able to dive and come back even faster than a single cooler comp, and so they really need to stay on guard, watch these rushes. We're going to see the pencil trade out the shot there, and now Zuka coming out on the side of Sanagi, doesn't quite get one, but they are still going to have man advantage as the headache goes down.
Yeah, the fight is going pretty strong, but it looks like Facade are able to stay on top. Sanagi making a few points, but points are not enough when all of your players are going back to spawn. Facade are back in control. They have a huge penalty right now. It's all about whether Sanagi can get back in there. And Sanagi are trying right now, but as you said, there's a lot of tactical. Facade are not really afraid of fighting, and they're fighting pretty strong.
That was a crazy jump shot from the shot, and then realizing out of position, also amazing jump back to the pencil or head it player back there. Great shot gameplay from Facade.
Yeah, people tend to forget that Tactical also gives you intensify action and quick super jump. You can get in super fast fight, super weird, and it's working for Facade. They're almost done with the KO. Sanagi are still in the fight, but still trying to apply penalty, keep themselves in the game. They're able to do that. They have yet to push Facade away. And remember, with a double tactical comp, if you're pushed away, it's very hard to get back in. Sanagi still has to stop the onslaught of Cooler, though. It's far from over.
Yeah, I mean, we see the pencil cooler have already been out on the ramp, and the headed has cooler as well. So even though these players are going down, they are going to likely have cooler very soon. Again, as long as that death was with cooler. And it was.
Yeah, it's not stopping that. Sanagi are still in that fight, and with a minute left, they have all the time to come back right now. Just 30 points away from a KO, and it's a 2v2. A single fight could change everything, and the jumps are being stuck right there. That's a double. That double is going to be so big, and with just a few more points, Sanagi are getting back, they get the lead, and they're looking to get the KO right now.
And that they will KO Facade, taking this game 1.
Yeah, very nice comeback by Sanagi, who really took their time to adapt to what Facade was doing. They were struggling to find that pace to match these fights, but now they came back strong and they took that game number 1. And we're going to get on to game number 2. Remember, we are now in best of 5, Brave. There's lots of time for these two teams to come back, to fight each other, to learn what the other team is doing and to adapt. Facade has shown how good they can be, how well they can do. And now going into Mahi Resort, they will have lots of opportunities to get that comeback.
Yes, they have plenty of time to change comps. They have plenty of time to try different options, or they can just run it back with double cooler. They can claim it is still better. There was just an unfortunate mishap there. 2 players jumping to the pencil was just so unfortunate for Facade there, as getting rushed down by the shot made such a huge opening play, even though the shot just kind of ignored the pencil, went for the more appealing 2 jumps. That is going to be very strong advantage there for Sanagi.
Yeah, that opening match is a good statement for Sanagi. It's really Sanagi showing, okay, we figured you out. We're able to counter the double tactical Facade. They are not done though. They had so much momentum throughout that game, and they were so close to getting a KO themselves. It's just about sealing the deal. It's just about making sure that Sanagi does not come back. They were almost able to do that in the first game. They will have more opportunities to come back, especially going into the next game in Mahi Resort. This one, the game number 1, the map was chosen by Sanagi. This time we are going to Facade's pick. They prefer this map. This could make the difference in what they're able to do.
Yeah, but we may not see the brush pick here on Mahi. We may see a little bit of change from Facade, or we will have to just see when the game starts. But we are going right into it right now. And we are going to have a T-Tech and a Carbon Roller, no double cooler.
Yeah, it looks like the Octobrush is no longer here, and Facade is going to rely on that paint that comes from the T-Tech to enable the Carbon. That Carbon is going to be key. Happy needs to get a lot of splat right there. I know how good Happy can be with a roller, and Happy is already jumping in. Oh, gets punished by the Zuka right there, and what a Zuka! Sanagi opening incredibly strong right there, is going to get control over the map, but Happy just already responding, already punished again. That's going to be incredibly strong by Sanagi right there. They're not stopping the onslaught.
Yeah, the Intensify action really helped the Gal get there from the cooler, get that pick on the just upper plat. Super, super great. They are still able to... Actually, they don't have zone right now. And the Gal is going to die in zone. That is going to be pretty unfavorable for Facade, but there's still no cap, and we do apply penalty here to Sanagi, and approaching the Zuka not dying is huge there as the teammate is able to clean up.
Yeah, Sanagi were able to win a few fights, but they were not able to push Facade away, and Facade already coming back and now showing what they can do when they have a tiny bit of momentum. They get in control, they push the other team away, and now the water is dropping. That's going to allow Facade to paint for a bit more specials.
Yeah, we have the strikes coming out from T-Tech, going to do some displacement, going to force, and it looks like the shot is going to go down on the side of Facade. After that, the location is revealed and quite vulnerable after those strikes. Now we see Zipcaster coming out, but that is the only one active, and the pencil is not able to cap zone or give penalty by itself.
Yeah, it looks like Facade are still holding the zone pretty strong. Snaggy fighting to apply penalty. They're not able to apply penalty yet. Facade are still in there, and Snaggy finally applying penalty. I've seen this before, Brave. This is game one all over again.
This is game one. Absolutely, we are so low with Facade having that huge penalty. If they reduce the penalty at all and get 3 more points and then get capped, it'll be an exact repeat.
Yep, but Facade are not done. They still have to fight for that zone though, and right now with 2 players down, it looks like Facade are going to hold a little bit longer, are still in control, and I mean, you called it. This is what could happen. Facade are looking to extend their lead right now. They don't have that much penalty left.
Yeah, and the pencil and the stamper waiting for the teammates to come back before popping the zip is going to be huge. Going to kill the jump in as well on that T-Tech and still harassing the pencil. That is going to be a cap for Sanagi. Applying penalty, no more points being able to be scored for Facade. And we have a trade from the Squeezer and the shot.
Yeah, these trades go a long way. The zone is still neutral. Neither team is really able to score. As I say, that Facade leaves the zone for Sanagi. Sanagi needs still to establish themselves. They already lost 2 players. Facade is respawning in with the strike. Sanagi has to run away again. They're not able to keep that zone, Brave. They haven't gotten past 70 so far into the game.
Yep, but with 2 down on the side of Facade, they are looking to try and get there. They just need to clear their far bottom right as the Carbon is there and is going to take out the Stamper. But there was a good punish and another punish. We are seeing trades out the wazoo. Some great gameplay where teammates are covering each other back and forth.
Yeah, trades are coming, trades are happening. Boo getting in there with the Zipcaster, able to confirm and make sure that the zone stays blue. Sanagi, no more penalty. They know they need to hold pretty strong. There's only 1 minute left in the game. Happy just running in, no fear, already getting a splat and trying to get more. The zone is flipped. And Facade are back in control. They haven't stopped that whole game, and Sanagi is still trying to find an answer.
And that recap was actually just so good from Facade. I saw that they did not have any Zuka. They really only had Cooler. And so with that Cooler, they were able to use their main weapons and get 2 down to Sanagi. But now we see Happy pulling out the Zuka, finally charged. Not quite going to get one, but the penalty is so low.
Happy keeps getting splat after splat, but this time it's not enough. It looks like Sanagi are still in control of the zone, still able to keep some control as all of Facade are up there trying to find a way in, and the pencil is already down, 2 down onto Facade. Sanagi looking to do the comeback, but they're going to need to do it in overtime right now. Sanagi are still holding it strong as Facade is preparing their final push to stop it all.
But with 1 down and strikes coming out, is going to be a neutralize for Facade, but it goes back incredibly fast to Sanagi. It's just a pencil versus 3. Can the pencil? No, and that is going to be Facade taking the recap and taking the game.
1 point, Brave. 1 point was all it took. These 2 teams are so close to each other, and that is a great quarterfinals that we have. in front of us right now, but it is only game number 2. We are 1-1. We will see more going into Robo-Roman.
Yeah, I really want to highlight the huge pick from the Zuka on the side of Sanagi, killing the Tenatech there, forcing all the way to overtime. There was no more strikes left, and the Tenatech had to get a very, very quick strike. Likely had to use Spawn Ink, likely had to just go really, really quick to get those strikes, and then also that little bit of time, little bit of space lost allowed those strikes to not quite be as confidently capping the zone, and they were able to paint over them, they were able to not get penalty, and that really gave them a chance in overtime. Still not going to quite take the game over Facade, but that was a great play from the Zuka.
Yeah, if Sanagi manages to keep one more player in that final push, they can paint the zone just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit longer, and that's all they needed. But unfortunately, Facade just managing to simply get in and not look bad, and especially happy with a carbon roller, getting splat after splat with absolutely no fear, knowing that even a trade could be good for them as they have that playstyle, as that's what their team wanted, just getting in and getting the fights going. Sanagi now, they need to prevent that. They need to at least have more pain, to have some way to call out these fights, some way to punish these fights. But they were not ready for that in that game.
Absolutely. And now we are going to be seeing Robo-Rom, and this is pencil territory. We have Gal coming out instead of Squeezer for this map. We're going to have that wall, going to be very huge for Facade.
Yeah, and the carbon roller is coming back. Not much of a change on the side of Sanagi, except I don't see no more T-Tech right now, no more triple ink strikes on either team. We want to go to fight, and Facade! Now, they're still winning these fights, they're still getting in, and with a trade again, they get the full control over the map.
And they're also able to kind of camp this cooler. If anyone didn't get that cooler rushing in, are going to die for it. Of course, a Zuka special pop's going to do it, but it is putting them in a bad spot. Underpass, getting 2v1'd, and then feeling like you have to drop to help your teammate. Oh, but there's a disconnect.
That's an early disconnect. I think we'll have a quick replay right there as soon as Sanagi resets the game. Yep. Yeah, the game has been reset. We're going to get a replay. It happens. Make sure that your router is nice, that your switch isn't overheating, and that you have a wired connection, everybody.
Yep, gotta get those wired connections. Make sure to have your setup near your router, or buy a 100-foot long Ethernet cable.
That's a way to do it. It can work, but yeah, hey, I mean, it's not a Splatoon tournament until disconnect happened. It's no big deal. We'll be right in there.
Yeah, even just this last weekend at a LAN, we had a disconnect. It's a LAN, but there was still a disconnect because the wires, you know, they just got a little tangled, got a little
loose.
bit, and it was on stream too. It was quite a good time.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, that's how it happens sometimes. We've seen Facade get an incredibly strong opening. Sanagi, I feel like having that disconnect could save them, could allow them to realize, okay, that's how they open, that's how we should adapt to what they do. So a little bit of saving grace for Sanagi if they're able to get their player back.
Yeah, because they were in such a bad position. They had not much specials. They were getting staggered, and that cooler going not fully utilized was huge for Facade. This is going to be a huge chance for them to kind of like redo their opening. Of course, it's just really unfortunate for Facade how they had such that strong opening. They're going to have to be able to replicate that if they want the same good advantage.
Yeah, it's always beating a team is something you can do. Beating the same team twice in the same night, it's a different one because they know where you're coming. On this map mode, Sanagi now expects what Facade is doing. Can Facade repeat the same monster opening that they just had, or can Sanagi adapt, prepare and be ready to stop the onslaught. It's all about winning that team fight because, as you said, after that, Facade was able to stagger Sanagi, beat them on their tacticular, and prevent them from really getting any momentum back. And here we go. We are back into this game. 4 players on each side. Let's go. Yep, no change in the weapons. We could expect that. I mean, that's pretty much the rules. And yeah, here we go. And note that Happy has a lot of quick respawn, so even without the tactical, Happy should be able to get back in the game incredibly fast.
You see the side of Facade's Gal putting up that very, very strong wall, is able to get a pick on the enemy Gal, but the Carbon Roller is going to go down in zone. Despite that, we do get a cap from Facade, and it's just a 3v3 here as they get a jump in and a Zuka pick on the side of Sanagi onto Facade. Zipcaster going in on this pencil right now, needs to avoid the cover and go for something else.
Yeah, very nice Zipcaster. It looks like right now Facade is going to get some control. He is going to get the push. Jiki able to defend a little bit with the pencil, pushing people away, but gets picked by the Zuka. Very good Zuka by Facade, who are now in very good control over the zone with no pencil on the side of Sanagi. They have less paint and no cooler.
Yeah, that cooler's only got to be about 50 right now, and with one of their front lines going down, that is going to allow Cold to come in and just rush down the pencil, allowing them no cooler a second time, and their Gal is going to go down again. This is huge for Facade.
Facade holding incredibly strong right now. Sanagi needs a fight to go their way. They haven't won a single team fight yet, and now the Zuka is activated. They're using all of their specials. They need to get the picks. They need to get the zone right now. Facade is only painting as much as they can, and then Sanagi is not able to paint. Facade is still making points with a numbers advantage right now. We could see a KO Brave.
We do with the shot. Yes, with Sanagi's shot going down near their side of zone. That was their main painter. They had a Gao kind of flanking bottom right, and that was allowed Facade to re-get the zone. No penalty applied, and that was just the knockout. A very clean victory for Facade, showing that their advantage was clearly the map-driven, and they can replicate it.
Yeah, it was every team fight went for Facade. Every special was going their way. The rhythm, the zone, everything was working for Facade. Sanagi struggling right there. After the first 2 games, it really felt like these 2 teams were on even ground. But right now, Facade looks like they're incredibly on top, and Sanagi are struggling to find a counter, are struggling to adapt to what Facade is doing. Facade is 1 game away from semifinals right now.
Yep, and they have all this momentum from this game. We are going to need a very, very strong clapback from Sanagi if we want to see a Game 5 here.
Yeah, something needs to change for Sanagi. Something needs to change in a big way. Not necessarily in weapons, but they need to change the way they coordinate, the way they adapt. They need to take their fights as a team, because right now it looked like a lot of times one player from Facade would just run at them, take the fight to the side, and make sure that Sanagi was not cohesive, was not playing as a team. Facade simply controlling the pace, controlling the place where the fights were happening, and Sanagi needs to find some control, needs to find something to stop what Facade is doing.
Yeah, maybe it's fighting different matchups. Maybe it's rotating in different ways to create different situations, but something is going to have to happen. And Pat, do you happen to know Game 4? It looks like I got my question answered. It's Humpback, Hump Track.
Yeah, Humpback. I mean, it's going to change a lot of things, because this is a bad pencil map. This is a map where people could bring a Tri-Slosher or a Heavy Edit, and that really changes the way teams are playing. That really changes the pace of things. That's also a map that is very, very good for rollers. And you know who has a roller?
Happy.
Oh, with a
roller.
roller this time. Meanwhile, Bubul on the side of Sanagi is switching to a Slusher. That Slusher is going to be incredibly important. They need to call out that roller though, because a roller on this map is incredibly dangerous. And right now, Sanagi just lost 3 players. Facade, they have their momentum. They are in Sanagi's head right now, and they know everything they need to do.
Losing that first team fight was so crucial. Not even just the first team fight, but the first pick. Happy getting that splat in zone or right next to zone allowed Happy to push up into zone, which just completely cascaded the next 2 short-range players to go down very quickly. That high ground zone is so good when you're in control and not when you're not. Right now we see Sanagi trying. They have 2 specials online, and as well as Cooler going to be out. They are going to need to take a recap. They are already down to 40 ticks from the side of Facade.
Yeah, it's not stopping. Facade are already so far in, and they're the ones throwing the strikes at the zone right there. Sanagi needs to paint, but they're able finally to stay on top. They're not. Okay, now they should apply them. Oh, wait, no! The roller and the big bubbler on top of the zone. Facade are holding the zone strong. The tripling strike and Bazooka are the last shot for Sanagi, and they're able finally to get back in this game, but they have a 90 points deficit to come back from.
It's going to be a lot, and with Cooler on board for Facade, it's not going to be an amazing start for Snoggy. Even getting these kills, they will be back fast and with special, but of course they do have an opportunity to set up, get this control. With the roller going down, they can potentially take the bunker, potentially take some further right area, but the tri-strikes are going to give that cap, as maybe they did not quite paint over those strikes, and a fight from the Tenetex shot is going to be in the favor of Facade. The shot ditto, and Facade is going to really be able to mark down their penalty. They still have a lot of paint control, and with a T-Tex in bunker is going to be very solid for Facade here.
Yeah, look at the 52 for Facade going into street, getting punished, though that is the opportunity for Sanagi to throw the strikes at the zone, delay things a little bit, but Facade, they don't care, they paint the zone back, no penalty applied. Sanagi finally again able to keep themselves alive. They dodge the KO again, but they have yet to score good points, and Facade are back on the attack, back getting more and more picks and getting back control over the zone, Brave.
And it looks like the Gao went very far behind and dropped from the enemy snipe to get that pick, and is now just kind of rotating back towards the front position. Very good play from the Gao there. We have Vanilla Roller being able to shark with both. Oh, and the Gaos are going to trade it out. It looks like the Roller has been able to get in through the trench, getting 1, getting 2, and now it is just the pencil on the side of Sanagi.
And Sanagi doesn't have much time left, just 15 ticks left. They need to paint the zone right now. Bazooka is coming in at the zone, but the strikes for Facade should maybe keep it. Oh, the control is contested. Oh, well, that's going to be game number 4 for Facade, who are advancing into semifinals.
So all the specials came out right there at the end. Strikes from both teams. Zuka, Bubble was able to secure that final victory for Facade. That is going to be, of course, like you mentioned, their set to take.
Yeah, very nice set. Sanagi really showing at the start of this game that they were on par with Facade, that they were able to fight them incredibly well. But throughout the games, Facade was learning. Sanagi were still incredibly good, were still able to fight, but Facade was getting more and more momentum, were winning more and more fights, were painting the ground more and making sure that they were just winning more and more the games, taking incredible control there.
Yep, of course, when you're down, you can't paint the zone. Pick's going to be incredibly important in most modes, and very articulated just in Rainmaker and zones, as they're so snowbally with picks in those modes.
Yep. But that also means that we'll take a short break as we prepare semifinals. Do not go anywhere. And welcome back to Paddling Pool, Golden Paddling Pool number 280. I am Pat here again with Brave, and we are now in semifinals, Brave.
Pat, I am here with Ode to Viceroy versus Last Minute. We just had Ode to Viceroy actually upset the 5th seed who had previously upset the Henlo fan club. So we are not seeing the 5th seed again. Ode to Viceroy 7th seed going to be here in semis. Glad to have him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only they got the upset, they haven't dropped a single map in this whole tournament yet. They are coming in incredibly strong right now. That being said, they are going against Last Minute. Seed number 2, a pretty good team. And to start it off, we will go back to Umami for, of course, Splatoon.
Oh, Umami, we love you so. And Mahi as well. For Game 2, we have Mox and Goji. I'm actually a little familiar with this recent pickup.
Yep, let's see how it goes. I love Last Minute's composition, bringing the Neo Splash-O-Matic. That weapon has been making waves lately. Meanwhile, on the side of this right, we see the Octobrush. The Octobrush is always a cool weapon to see at that level. It can do a lot, and right now, it looks like it's getting a pick at least, and jumping away as Last Minute is still winning that team fight, getting control over the zone and pushing all of this right away.
We got Sea Hornet getting 2v1. That is going to be unfavorable for a gal with a wall. You can be on both sides of the wall there. And we see Kyoki going in here getting a triple for the side of Last Minute. That Zipcaster kind of forced to now cover the landing and is unable to. Goes down as well.
Yeah, onto this right, not really recognizing the push by Last Minute, getting picked one by one right there, giving a lot of ground to Last Minute. As I say, that Bazooka is coming, that's 2 down onto Last Minute. Auto Viceroy should be able to get at least one zone, get some control over there, and able to apply penalty. Now it's their turn to push, and with a pick onto the pencil, they should be able to get some momentum going now.
And Goji is going to go down there for being in front of the tent to short-range shooter, and that means that Last Minute is able to start trying to pressure this. And they go 3 down. All of a sudden, Ode to Viceroy looking in a very precarious situation. Of course, Tent can fight its own, but does end up trading out the gal there.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough one right there, but it's not over. Viceroy needs to regroup, needs to prepare something big. Has the Zipcaster is coming in, or everybody's shooting the Zipcaster, but will it be enough? It looks like right now, Last Minute is still able to hold their zone pretty strong, hold some lead as all of Viceroy is trying to get in, and so close to applying penalty, but not yet. Brave. Oh wait. They kept it.
Yep, no penalty applied, and that is very strong for Last Minute. 2 down. Ode to Viceroy coming from spawn is going to look very precarious, especially with strikes coming out. They are just completely able to hold control, and with the brush going down, that is going to be a knockout for Last Min.
I mean, Ode to Viceroy, they were so close to capturing both zones. They were so close, but just a drop of ink away is all it takes. And right there, because of that, Last Min keeping that control for almost the whole game, almost no points scored by the Viceroy. That's an incredible opening by Last Min.
Yep, very strong. Going to give them that momentum for sure in the set. They have already taken this game. They can show that they can win the whole set. They just repeat this on other maps, other modes, just change comps a little, see if they figured out how to play into that tent. We'll see this in the future games.
Yeah, we'll see how teams are able to adapt. Right now, Ode to Viceroy needs to change what they're doing. And going into Mahi, a lot of different weapons, a lot of different strategies can work. But now that they know what Last Min does, how strong Last Min pushes, especially how fierce their fight and how much they can punish any struggler from a team that forgets to regroup. Right now, Ode to Viceroy need to find that coordination, not let anyone away from their side, because if there's one person behind them, one person to the side, they are in danger.
Yep. And we are going to see of course, Tent on Mahi. I'm interested to watch Goji, as Tent on Mahi has been a thorn in my side personally. It is so good until the waters go down. You can control so much of that space, so much of that mid. With Tent, it feels like you have half of mid just with a Tent pushing through. It is so strong, so strong in the early game. Very curious to see how this game is going to go.
Yeah, you can't underestimate a good Tent. Let's see what these streams bring to the table. The Tent is coming back, the brush is going back as well. I don't see any change in composition. It's all about the fight right now. Hornet bringing the 52 Gal Deco to have this splatter color screen. These screens on this map can block the view from any push. You can't get in because the screen covers pretty much the whole map.
That is going to be a good counter pick on the side of Ode to Viceroy. And also, we see the Gal. The Gal can counter pick this Tent with Wall. We saw it in the opening play. Tent did not get to just go through mid for free. And we are now seeing this Gal get 2-3 on the side of Ode to Viceroy and is able to pressure this Pencil with a Wall. Not going to do more than that, though. And Pencil is able to solo hold zone until strikes are popped.
Yeah, as we see two Zipcaster being deployed right now, both trying to go for the backline, but it looks like Viceroy are still winning their fights, are still in control and getting more and more paint onto the ground. This is a very different dynamic than what we saw in game number 1. We're 1 minute in and it looks like Ode to Viceroy are still in control.
Yes, they are. Benjamin did an amazing job of holding that when there was a triple on the side of Last Min through the Gal. That was an insane hold, allowing the teammates to get back. Of course, they did have Cooler, but staying alive, getting a pick that long was so huge because they do not have penalty right now. They are just making more and more points. The ticks are going down and down. We see the Tent and the Gal now beefing, and the Gal has to jump out to the Pencil friend.
Yep, and that's still a very strong fight, but it looks like Last Min are finally in control. It's their turn to establish their defensive positions right now. Ode to Viceroy are still in that fight though, and I already see a special coming. The Zipcaster by U-Snipe is only going to get a trade. It looks like Ode to Viceroy has their special ready. They're going to get in. The Zipcaster is ready, looking to the side at that 52 that's completely locking away that path to the left, but Ode to Viceroy, they don't care. They get the splat, they get all the splat, and they get the zone, Brave.
Yep, that was a great pick from Ode to Viceroy. They got a pick on the most important player, one of the painters on the side of Last Min, and were able to force that Gal that was being a thorn in their side on the top left islands to have to rotate, but that is rotating into a bad position and did go down, and that is going to be good for Ode to Viceroy. Now, of course, though, we have Last Min going 2 down, and Ode to Viceroy are looking strong, trying to cap this zone, and they do. There is still no penalty on Ode to Viceroy as they are approaching, getting more ticks, and the Zuka is going to take the Pencil out. Huge Zuka play from Goji.
And we've chewed down onto Last Min. Ode to Viceroy are looking to get more and more points. They're looking at a KO right now. The strikes are not enough to apply penalty, but Last Min is still around. They're still painting that zone, fighting for it, and they're able to get it stop Viceroy from getting that KO, but they're not out of the woods yet. They paid a hefty price for preventing that KO. They lost their players, and Ode to Viceroy are back in control.
Yeah, and Last Min had no Cooler there. Pencil down, went down without providing Cooler, and everyone, of course, after dies, is going to be back slow and without special. That includes everyone that has just gone down on the side of Last Min, and the Cooler is still being charged. Finally, we have a Cooler from Last Min, but with so little penalty left, this is huge for Ode to Viceroy. They kind of have to drop really soon here in the next 20 ticks if they want a chance.
Yep, right now just 10 more ticks going onto the zone. Last Min is fighting as much as they can, but there's nobody to paint right now. Ode to Viceroy getting game number 2. Both teams have shown utter dominance on their preferred map. This is looking incredibly contended between them.
Yep, very close gameplay out from these teams. They were going to, of course, even it up 1-1. And we are seeing an even game match going into Barnacle and Dime zones.
I mean, we've seen these teams defend ahead of the zone, put themselves in control of the zone, stay in front of it so that the other team cannot come back. We've seen both of these teams be able to do that. Now, Brave, we're going on to Barnacle. I mean, the map that really favors that, the map that pushes you to do that, it all could be decided by that first team fight. Given how well these two teams are able to hold the zone when they have it, the first team fight could decide the whole game and could decide what team goes 2-1 and get a huge lead in this semi-final.
Absolutely, Barnacle and Dime, known for its snowballiness, known for its lockout heavy gameplay. You're absolutely correct. It is going to look like whoever wins that first team fight, of course, gets that huge advantage first, forces the other team to have a very, very hard time getting back in, and they need to do something very, very well. Outplay the opposing team much harder just to get back in a little bit to plat before they can even pressure zone a little.
Yep, we are back to the regular 50 cal on this map. No change in composition on the side of Last Min. Not much of a surprise between these two teams. It's all going to be decided by the fight, and do not blink. That first team fight could decide the whole game right there. We see it looks like Last Min are holding some control, but Otto Viceroy waiting for the cooler before going into the fight. Here comes all the specials as Last Min is trying to get in, but they already lose their stamper, and it looks like Viceroy are taking some control over the zone.
And with Gal not quite watching that tent, the tent is going to go all the way into plat in terms of paint. The tent goes down to Pencil, and even though they have zone, they are 2 down. The Pencil gets a huge pick on the Stamper, rushing Benjamin. Huge pick from Benjamin.
Yeah, huge pick and huge survival there. Last Min will be in control of the zone, but Otto Viceroy are not completely out yet. They still are in that fight, are still trying to stay in, as Goji is in with the turn but has to move away. 3 down right now. It looks like Last Min are in full control now, and Old Viceroy are going to need a proper counter push.
And they wail the caster, knowing this caster can go into the places where they can't normally. Getting the one on the Gal, but is going to go down. There is only a Neo Splash with Strikes, who is being harassed, and Goji is going to be able to take that space, but with Strikes, not for very long at all. Going to have to jump out. They do take zone, and this is going to be a very neutral situation, and Oats Viceroy goes down 1.
Yeah, but Last Min are back in control of the zone. Just catching each player away right there. Goji, incredible fighting, but that's not enough as the rest of Viceroy are caught away, have to move back. Last Min are back in control, and they don't have that much penalty left already, Brave. This could be a quick game if Viceroy doesn't answer fast, and the train is not good enough to push.
But the Zuka and the Whale coming out at the same time, making Last Min go 2 down, is going to allow them to go in and pressure that Gal, is going to allow them to take back that zone. The Stamper getting a one-shot on the Goji tent with Zipcaster is going to be great for, but also going down, getting punished by the Gal right afterwards. And right now we see Ode to Viceroy with zone. Once again, not really an advantage though. It's just kind of neutral. They have zone, but no control. The Zipcaster is going to need to get a pick if they want some semblance of control, but Gal is going to go down, and with recall, it is going to be bad for Viceroy.
The battle is not stopping, but every time Last Min gets back in control of the zone, Viceroy are struggling to push forward, to push ahead of that zone, of getting more. As the tri-strikes are coming, the zone stays blue, not much penalty left. Viceroy are still in that fight, are still trying to push Last Min away. It's not working. There's 2 minutes left, and we see the fights happening everywhere right now as Snipe is punishing the Zipcaster, but gets punished themselves.
Yeah, that was really surprising. It looked like a Zipcaster was popped right after the Brush Zipcaster in order to have that timer favored on the Stamper side, but still got traded out is going to be a little odd. And Last Min looking here to knock out, of course. Everyone is kind of backed up, having to use specials just to get back into plat, get back into street, and they do end up getting a kill on the Gal with one of those specials and able to recap zone. They are just barely staying in it with all of these caps, not really quite getting huge advantage, but they still have a chance.
Yeah, the fight is going strong. Auto Viceroy need to hold the zone right now. They're able to fight for it. They're able to get in there to get some push, but they're not able to hold yet. As that being said, it's 2v2, but Viceroy has the special advantage, has the triple Ink Strike is coming on the side of Lastmin. That Tacticular should not be enough. All of Viceroy have to move away, have to jump out, and Lastmin are looking in that last minute. They're looking like they're going to get a KO.
But we do have a tent. Zuka coming out, gets one in the zone, but going down is going to be very bad as we do not have tent to go through the zone. Another one going down. It's only leaving the gal on the side of Lastmin is going to be favorable, but Zip popping is not going to get zoned. This is not good as the jumps to the pencil go down and Zip is nowhere to be found. This zone is not quite Viceroy's. And now we are truly looking at a knockout for Lastmin here.
And Lastmin is going to get the 2-1. They are now on match point. And remember, Bray, this is a single elimination. This is do or die now for Odd to Viceroy.
Yeah, we'll have to see Ode to Viceroy do a little bit better in the next game. It feels like they could have stayed in it one last chance, one last time, if the brush had helped paint zone there against just the gal rushing the pencil. However, painting zone isn't, of course, everything. We always need those picks to, of course, not let the opponents paint zone too. So Mox just unfortunately prioritized the wrong thing there. Very unfortunate, happens to us all. But we are going to need to see some better gameplay from Ode to Viceroy. They were just kind of barely keeping themselves in it that whole game. They would take zone and never really have full advantage of both the opponent's plat, the opponent's right snipe, and that pit, and have that lockout position. They never got there. However, the opposing team did. Lastmin was in those positions 2 or 3 times. They had the heavy advantage on Barnacle there.
Yeah. And you speak of positions. These positions were all over the place with the Zipcasters on both sides. You would see really a push from the Zipcaster deep into enemy territory. Meanwhile, there would be a team fight on the other side of the map that would flip the zone. There was so much happening everywhere. It was so hard to keep track, and we're not even playing the game. I can't believe how it should be for these players. How are they able to just stay on top of that? It looks like Lastmin were benefiting from that chaos. We're benefiting from having all these fights happening all at once, all around the map. Onto Viceroy need to regroup a little bit if they want to control that chaos and stop Lastmin from just running away with the victory. That being said, I mean, these two teams were incredibly close from each other. Going into Macomart, we'll see more fights all around the map, I feel like, but it's going to be a pretty tough one.
Yes, it's much easier to get much closer to the enemy spawn here on Mako. And just much easier, a lot more rotation coming out on this map, a lot more fights, a lot more scrapping happening on this map than Barnacle, for sure. Barnacle, you know, of course, have the streets and mid, and that's about it. Other than that, you take the space very quickly after clearing those. And we are going to get into Mako Mart right now. Goji Mox. Ode to Viceroy going to keep the brush and tent gaming.
Oh yeah, bring back the brush on here, bring back these Zipcasters. You can do so much on top of these stacks with the brush. You have a lot of control, you have a lot of painting power that you can use with the brush. As I say that the brush is down, it looks like Lastmin are going to get first control, but the fight is far from over as Goji is getting in, has the tent deployed and is trying to get some picks, but completely called out in a 1v2, gets sniped.
By you snipe Stamper, huge, but is going to go ahead and picked by Hornet Whale. A good 1v1 win for Hornet, and he's going to be able to neutralize zone there, but with Sprinkler on top, it's going to be kind of harder to cap here. It takes him a bit longer, and Sprinkler is still putting some more paint onto that zone. Here we see the 52 getting a double on Ode to Viceroy. Huge play for Kyoki, forcing the pencil to jump out and rotating back for Cooler.
Yeah, it is not stopping. Lastmin is holding that control. Ode to Viceroy really struggling to get back in. The brush is down. That is staggering. On to Viceroy as Lastmin is trying to get in, trying to get a bit more. Snipe is in there with the Stamper, creating more havoc, delaying the next push. by Viceroy. We're halfway through the points for last minute, and Otto Viceroy are still struggling to get to the zone.
They do not get it there. The penalty is not quite applied, and with the Gal going down and also the pencil, this is a very good situation for Lastman, but Mox has been going in with that Zipcaster, gets 2, gets punished on the recall, and now we just see a Gal versus pencil 2v2. They are able to cap Lastman, going to still be pressuring the Plat from below on that right drop, and is going to almost have Whale is also very favorable for the fights to come in this last minutes of the potentially game.
Yeah, just a few ticks left. Otto Viceroy need to paint the zone. They already lost 2 players. Lastmin need to paint the square, and they get to the finals right now. Congratulations to Lastmin. Really adapting and getting better each game.
Yeah, for sure. They were able to show those their dominance on those last 2 maps. It was definitely looking much more even these first 2 games, and they were able to adapt well in game, get those crucial picks, and keep that, of course, zone painted. And with that, they take the set, move on to finals.
Yep, we will see them in the finals, where I don't know. Yes, they will get to meet Royal Academy, who are waiting for them in their already seed number 1 versus Lastmin seed number 3. It's going to be a great game to decide who is your golden paddling pool champion. We'll take a short break to set up the lobby. Do not go anywhere.
Sidelines just trying to get something done, but the really nice shot across the side angle will actually work. In fact, getting Beagle as well.
Oh, that's Suka taking 2!
That is huge. Very great shot by Ice because with the Booyah Bomb and a lot of paint bomb and a full white.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever.
Welcome back to Golden Paddling Pool 280. I am Brave with my co-commentator here, Pat. Pat, how are you feeling?
I am doing great, Brave. We get to see the best of the best. It's Royal Academy versus Last Min 2. Top level pickups, two teams of incredible players showing us how you play when you're at the top of Splatoon. Here for this Splat Zones only tournament. This is Golden Paddling Pool. We're 280. We're so close to 300, Brave.
That's a lot of weeks. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. And the reason we keep going on is because people keep watching and supporting us and giving us so much. And that being said, we'd like to give a special thanks to our Ko-Fi supporters, especially Squidaro and Joel Marmalade, who are giving us their support through Ko-Fi. Thank you so much. This is helping us prepare the next tournaments, improve our graphics, improve our streaming, and also make cool prize pools for people to play for. Very soon you'll see more 20xx actions. That's thanks to the support we get on Ko-Fi and the money we're able to collect and put to good use thanks to you all.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to all and any future Ko-Fi supporters as well. We appreciate you greatly.
Yeah, thank you very much. As we say that, we are now going in Royal Academy and Last Min going in at each other, and we're going to start with a map that both teams chose. A map that doesn't need much of an introduction. It is the Splatoon 3 map. That is Hagglefish Market.
Absolute pencil territory here with both the tent and such great cover on both left and right of zones to be abused here. We have a Neo Splash on the side of Last Min and a both double midline comm on the side of Royal Academy.
Yep, and as we go, both teams just fighting for the paint, waiting for the special so that they can go onto the zone. Last Min opening with a very nice strikes, are able to get a pick onto the slusher and the zone with that. Royal Academy preparing the answer right now. It's not much of an answer, but they're not able to push Last Min away. Last Min are staying in control right now. Whew.
And with the Zipcaster being popped, this is going to give Last Min a lot of distraction. Unfortunately goes down a bit early, and that is going to almost spell a recap. And there we go, a recap for Royal Academy, which is going to apply penalty to Last Min. The shot, of course, favoring to try and go for some picks there. Kind of understanding, yeah, the zone's going to flip no matter what. Whoa! What happened here? We have 3 down on the side of Last Min. Now we can see Royal Academy go up the ramp and try to take control of this plot, but they are going to get doubled by the Neo Splash. Not a very common shooter to be getting these huge fight wins. Very good gameplay there from, yeah.
It is with a splash here, really saved the whole team, allowed all of Last Min to get back in there, and now it's Royal Academy back in defense, back in their spawn, trying to find a way in, as Last Min is making back their points and looking to get the lead back.
And it looks very promising if they are going to just go ahead and grab Cooler, give the lead back to Last Min, try to go for a more safe retake. They do get a pick on the Neo Splash as strikes come out, and they also recap zone. They are able to kind of find locations, really force the teams, Last Min, onto the flanks with that zone cap. Last Min forced onto the flanks. And we are going to see people going down left and right. Royal Academy are keeping this zone and being able to paint up both of the flanks now.
Yep, we see more and more fight. These two teams are pretty even. They're just a few points away right now. It's all about who's going to get rid of their penalty first. And it looks like Royal Academy with 2 down, 3 down onto Last Min are going to get the zone back. Reapply penalty. It's their turn to hold the ground. Now, as the slusher is already getting in, trying to apply some more pressure, and the pressure is applied indeed. It looks like Royal Academy is going to hold that zone now. No more penalty. They're going to make more points.
That was a great strike bait from the Vanilla Slosher on Royal Academy, just instantly popping those 3 and then dropping, forcing 2 people to kind of come and contest, and they both went down, 1 assisted, and we are going to see Royal Academy in strong advantage here in this 3v3. If they can just get 1 more pick, it would be very close to a knockout, but with strikes coming out from Last Min, they get a lot of zone neutralized, and Kyoki able to set up a wall here is going to spell the end. We have penalty applied to Royal Academy.
Penalty is applied, but also a lot of lead to come back from. We have less than 2 minutes in this game. Brave and right now Royal Academy are already pushing towards the zone. That being said, they lost 2 players last minute. Still holding pretty strong. No more, not much more penalty as U-Snipe is getting in with the Zcaster, trying to get some attention, allowing the rest of the team to put themselves in position to defend the zone.
And the Zuko coming out, assisting. We are going to see 2 down on the side of Lastman. Royal Academy able to neutralize that zone, and with the shot helping farm that Zuka. We are so close to another Zuka and a cap for Royal Academy. Strikes, but doesn't actually help in the long run as 2 go down for Lastman. We are going to have to see Ellis get some great picks here if we are going to see anything from the side of Lastman.
And where is Lastman where is Royal Academy? Lastman was able to take the zone. That's what happened. Royal Academy answering with the splats, letting them apply penalty. There's only 40 seconds left, and Royal Academy stays in control. Make sure that Lastman can only apply penalty, cannot do much more. Splat after splat for the Royals right there. 2 down, and Lastman needs a huge push right now. There's only 20 seconds left.
And they have the advantage to do so. They have a few more picks than Royal Academy in these past 10 seconds. They have the opportunity, and that is why zone is neutral right now. But through this fight, we are not seeing any picks happening from either team, and with Zipcaster out, that is going to be 1 pick on Pencil, but gets traded out. We are seeing Royal Academy, of course, just painting this zone, but overtime is going to get barely activated by Lastman.
Overtime is coming. The strikes are not enough for Royal Academy to hold the zone right now. It's going to be decided by the fights, and the fights are going for the Academy, getting game number 1. What a first game, Brave.
Yeah, extremely intense game 1 of finals here. Very, very back and forth, but Royal Academy really held lead there kind of the entire game. They were up on picks the entire game. It felt like they were always going, making Lastman go 2 down, and that was a amazing just hold for them over and over. They didn't quite make any points after that huge penalty was applied when they got down to 16, but it didn't matter. They just kept on killing, get those great picks on Lastman.
Yeah, it was very much a strong showing by Royal Academy. Lastman were right behind them, just not able to catch up, just not able yet to really get on par with what they're doing. But they were so close. There were very few good moves by Lastman. If they're able to find a bit more fight, I mean, they were able to get a few good picks that allowed them to get back in there. It's just that Royal Academy had the extra step, had the first push. If Lastman is able to just get a bit more momentum at the start, I feel like they could get back in there.
I agree, absolutely. I'm curious to see if we see any comp change or only in-game adaptations here from Lastman with Barnacle and Dime. Oh my gosh, Pencil. Pencil.
Yeah, but before Barnacle, we are going to Brian Water Springs, Brave, which is very much a pencil map. A pencil and tripling strikes map for the ages.
Yeah, we have a tiny zone that can be pressured from very close to spawn, allowing quick flips from both sides all the time if you are not all the way in their spawn camping them. And so I'm very curious to see if we get either team actually able to push up all the way up there or not this game. Of course, that left drop also being an option just right off spawn. You can have so much vertical. If you are able to sneak behind them, it can lead to some very good and crazy flanks. Very interested to see how it plays out this match.
You can get into the fight pretty fast. You also have to pay attention to the eye in the sky, the pencil that's going to look down upon you and rain absolute terror from both teams. We know both of these teams will have their snipers in position to really take control over the map. The team that's able to really keep that control will get the game. As I say that, let's get right in there. It's 1-0, only 1-0 right now for the Royal Academy, as Lastmin is looking to get that game back. And yeah, no change in terms of team composition on either side. It looks like both teams are just trying to get in, trying to get some control. We still see that fight. The Slosher on the side of Royals, getting in there, getting the flank, and that is paying off for the Royals. That's going to be first control and a big push for them right off the bat.
Range, though, getting a little bit too greedy there with the players being back so quick from Lastmin. We're able to punish there, and they are even able to get a zone cap after using some specials. But, of course, strikes here going to give no flip. It looks like those strikes were absolutely on the entire zone with this tiny, tiny zone, but they do finally, Royal Academy, get that. Oh my gosh, strikes are everywhere.
Strikes are everywhere, but they're not enough right now, as Mickey with the blaster gets one, gets two, looking to get a third, and they do get the third one. What a push, what a single squid push right there. Royal Academy has good control over the zone, as Lastmin is trying to get back in. They have the specials and they're ready to get the push, but Royal Academy is still holding, still making more points, and getting a double.
Triple with the Zuka is so big here, because that is going to force the final player to be forced out. That would have been a 2v3, 2v1, 3v1 very, very fast. And they were able to really take this bottom right side of Lastmin's map, which is a very strong position to hold from.
And right now, Royal Academy are still holding incredibly strong. They're making the other team dance with the triple ink strike. The strikes are coming onto the zone. They need to get the cap, and they do get the cap. Lastmin are still alive in this game, but what a huge, huge lead in the opening from the Royals.
Yeah, getting all the way down to 5. I can't believe I'm seeing a 69 penalty. That is a huge, huge, huge penalty. We're going to just see that being chipped down like the rest of the game. Very unlikely to see a knockout here. And we see Zuka coming out, not able to get one, but finally on the last shot, flicks to kill the gal on the side of Lastmin. Was a clutch final kill off of that Zuka.
Yeah, and Splat after Splat incoming for the Royal Academy. It looks like, Mikey is going to lose that fight 3 down. It looks like Lastmin finally are in control, finally are going to be able to do something. Usnipe is already onto that map with the Cooler. It's Lastmin's turn to score some point. As I say that, Royal Academy are already back in the fight.
And with the Zuka online, Royal Academy are looking to also get more picks, but the Zipcaster is able to live for a little bit until getting directed by the range. Range getting 2 now, and is able to continue pressuring. Gets 3, only the pencil alive, but with jumps to the pencil, it was a bit of a staggered third. Now the range is not quite going to be able to, unless a direct comes out.
That blaster is not stopping, but that blaster couldn't paint the zone, which means Lastmin kept control over the zone during that fight. And right now they're looking at getting that lead back. The strikes are coming onto the zone, applying penalty and allowing Royal Academy to breathe a little bit. They have a bit more time to push in, but Lastmin is still very much in control of mid right now.
Great pick coming out there from the Slosher on Royal Academy. Unfortunately, though, going to get whaled, and 2v1 needing to jump out there, but was able to getting that jump out. There is good. Still, the burst bomb locating that shot. Fiesta here knows, I can't die. I have this Zuka. I need to kill one right now with this Zuka, and does get that pick. And it's going to be good. Therefore, Royal Academy helping a retake. These strikes coming in is going to neutralize the zone and allow the Slosher to go up, but does get punished by the Stamper.
And and Lastmin is not stopping. The onslaught is coming from Usnipe, getting Splat after Splat. Now with Tacticula, all of Royal Academy is struggling to get back into this game. As Usnipe gets punished with a Tacticula. We are so close to a lead swap, but all of Royal Academy is on the zone painting it and able to keep the lead. Just what an A pushback by the Royal Academy in the nick of time, less than a second from losing that lead. I mean, Lastmin able to get back on top, able to get back in control, but now they're going to need to win in overtime.
That was a very, very unfortunate lottery Zuka snipe on you. Snipe's Zipcaster. They could have had lead, but they do still have overtime to try and get this lead. They will need to get picks. Do get one on the range blaster, and Strikes are able to hold it again.
Oh, so many strikes coming. Both Pencil tries to outpaint each other. It looks like Lastmin has more players, but Royal Academy getting it? How? How did they get it? One burst of a pencil.
How
One burst
indeed,
of a
we have
pencil.
2 pencils, yep.
Yeah.
It's a very, very small zone. We saw both pencils, of course, trying to paint zone there, but very difficult to even ascertain what happened there with so much happening. Strikes flying out, Zuka's flying out, and that is going to be game 2, though, for Royal Academy, going to go up 2-0 on Lastmin.
Oh, but what a close game. We were just 1 point away, just a few... Nothing! There was nothing between these two teams, but Royal Academy right now looking at winning your golden paddling pool. They are up 2-0 and Lastmin is back to the wall. They cannot lose a single game now. They cannot make a mistake anymore because at this rate, how fast these games go, a single mistake costs you the game.
Yeah, and what single mistake? I am actually going to highlight a very unfortunate single, sort of mistake. U-Snipe on his bottom left was doing a great job of holding and even popped Zipcaster at the perfect time to get a lead, to get distraction play so that Lastmin could potentially get the lead, but then just very unfortunately, the wrong position. Just unfortunately got Lottery Zuka on that very first location, and that allowed Royal Academy to stop Lastmin from getting lead. But it was still a very, very good play overall from U-Snipe.
Yeah, hey, Zipcaster is always risky. You indicate with that arm where you're going to go if the opponent is able to read it, is able to react. That's the end for you. I mean, Lastmin, yeah, if they don't miss that Zipcaster, if that Zipcaster survives, not even survives, just survives that one dive right there, that's an extra second, and that's Lastmin getting the lead on that single push right there. That was so close. That's how close it was between these teams. But it is not over. Lastmin have shown that they are able to be on an even ground with Royal Academy, that they're able to almost come back. Now they need to seal the deal. Now they need to do it, and they have no second try. This is their final shot, and it's going to be on another classic map, Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, going from small zone, easily cappable, to huge zone. You need a lot of control of mid to cap this zone. You cannot just neutralize and just kind of paint around. You can't just keep painting. It's not going to apply penalty. You have to get those picks. You have to take up those good positions in order to secure a good advantage here on Inkblot.
Yeah. And you know what's very good on this map? Zipcaster. Zipcaster is the special you want to throw it because you have such huge walls all around the map. You can put yourselves and just jump away from danger, be above your opponent without your opponent being able to really fire at you, and then you just drop on them and they can only try to dodge your attacks. It is one of the best Zipcaster maps that could give U-Snipe the opportunity to really cause a lot of damage, this time without being picked.
Yes, at this Art Academy, we have 2 towering skyscrapers for U-Snipe to climb with Zipcaster. Very excited to see the Zipcaster plays this game as we get into potentially the last game of finals if Royal Academy are able to take this.
Yep, and this time Royal Academy are bringing a Splash-O-Matic of their own for extra triple ink strike. We see 2 triple ink strikes on the side of Royal Academy, already getting a pick and looking to get the zone, already trying to go in, and with the strikes and the tactical, the fight is going to go real fast.
But with this huge zone, it has not been capped, and Royal Academy's range does go down, actually giving first cap to Lastmin.
Yeah, last minute, it looks like they're able to be the one pushing forward. Kyuki, able to get in, has to be pushed away, but Mickey with that blaster is able to get the splats 2 down onto last minute, is going to force them to push, to go back as you activate the Tacticular. All of Royal Academy are going to try to get as much ground as they can now.
Yeah, but we see you sniping here in a precarious situation against Maya, but goes down to range. Gonna be that a trade out in a 3v3 situation.
Yeah, the trade are in favor of the Royals though. They're still winning the zones, getting the control still going, and very nice fight by U-Snipe right there. Still looking to find a way in, still looking to repaint the zone. It looks like last minute is going to be back in control with a Tacticular activated. They should be able to at least get something. As I say, that Royal Academy are back on the attack, pushing forward, not letting last minute get any ground, keep anything that they got.
Range Blaster able to take this plat, and with also Wavebreaker, this is going to be 3 down on the side of Lastmin.
And it's not stopping the continuation from the Slusher. That was 3 down onto Lastmin for the price of Q. All of Lastmin is trying to get back in as Royal Academy are getting rid of their penalty, getting past the halfway point of their score.
2 suction bombs on right zone. They're kind of forcing the Stamper.
Yes.
Stamper wants to rotate left here, but does grab Cooler. We have a kind of a sharking slosher on the...
Ooh, well, it looks like Royal Academy are back in full control right there, getting more and more points. Still no penalty was applied, Brave. This could be the game, this could be the tournament right here if Lastmin is not able to apply some pressure, able to paint that zone right now. And with the Zipcaster from U-Snipe, it's going to be exactly that. Lastmin still in there, still painting, but now they need to hold that zone. As I say that, the Slosher is right behind them, looking to win their day.
A great bomb is going to force that Stamper 2 back up. We have Kyoki rotating here. And the 2 down right now on Royal Academy and another is going to spell Lastmin capping. They are back fast and are already far left, but that left pit is not a very good spot to be here, especially with Zipcaster and Gal being able to go in.
Yeah, Lastmin again able to take the zone, able to apply penalty, but they have yet to really push Royal Academy away. Mikey is dancing around with that blaster. Blaster is supposed to be slow. Okay, Ellis finally able to win that fight, but get punished by the Slosher. That Slosher's constantly ending the fights that the blaster starts. As I say, that Royal Academy back in control of the zone, activating the triple ink strike to keep it a little longer, chipping away at their penalty and getting splat after splat. Royal Academy want this game so hard right now.
Yeah, they are looking for that 3-0, and right now, Lastmin is in a bad spot. Even with these strikes coming out on plat, 3 people are really stuck there, and even with this whale, they still aren't really able to even neutralize the zone. Kyoki is able to get on top tower here, looking for a pick, looking for a good time, but they did not go on the wall, and Kyoki does get one, stays alive.
And we are now able to apply penalty. The game is alive. The tournament's not over. Kyoki getting in on the hunt, getting that blaster. And now, Lastmin, in the last minute of this game, needs to get a huge control over the zone. The strikes are not enough to apply penalty. Lastmin needs to get that control back because there are only 30 seconds left. They're going to need to win in overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. And with such a big zone, they can do it if they just keep the picks up. The range is down. Double strikes, would it really be enough to cap such a large zone? They would have to be very well placed from the side of Royal Academy. They do have the double GG strikes here, but one is going to have to be popped early and one goes down, which means they only have one single set of strikes to put on the zone. Last minute, very favorable to take the game here. And they do.
Lastmin able to get back, able to hold the strikes from the Royal Academy were not enough to paint the zone, and you called it before the game. You can't just simply paint the zone with a few strikes. Lastmin able to hold that control, able to stay in the game. and saving themselves one extra game, one game at a time. Lastmin is still in this tournament.
Yes, they certainly are. I feel like Kyoki single-handedly there with the play up to top tower was trying to keep them in it, but did not quite work out. The Lastmin was able to take that game.
Yeah, I mean, Royal Academy were in control most of that game, had the lead most of that game, and it felt like they were playing this map better. It's just that simply Lastmin, the moment they found that control, the moment they were able to push Royal Academy completely away from the zone, Royal Academy didn't know how to push back in. Like, they were struggling. They did not expect to have to get back in there, and Lastmin simply ran away with the victory in the nick of time by almost nothing.
At the last minute there, we actually had Range Blaster go down, and that was very unfortunate for Royal Academy as they no longer had such a strong, large AoE to keep them at bay, and that allowed the non-fighting Splash with strikes to also go down. Two Lastmins just collapse, and that was really the end of Royal Academy's lead.
Yeah, that blaster is so important to Royal Academy's ability to push to get in. It really was the blaster starting all the fights, making sure that Royal Academy always had a way in, and that Lastmin always had to just look to the side, dodge these huge blasts. And it feels like Lastmin found a way to get that one pick onto it. You can't be fragile over one weapon, especially as we go on to Barnacle and Dime. You talked about it earlier, Brave. This could be very dangerous if one team is on top, if one team pushes the other team away, gets a few extra picks. This game could end incredibly fast.
Yep, especially with this lockout. Heavy Barnacle and Dime. We do have strikes from both sides of the teams to get us back into the game, even if we do get pushed all the way back into spawn. We have Kyoki Gal already forcing on the right street for a few people to back up. Range having to back all the way, kind of rotating to the plat area there, and with strikes coming out, no zone cap yet, but Royal Academy does get that zone.
Yep, we are still in that fight, but who has the zone isn't as important as who is around the zone. Chuki getting it with the Gal, helped by the Zipcaster. Usmap is getting so much right there. All of Royal Academy has to cower away. Mikey is completely alone, trying to fight it, deploying the Wave Breaker in the completely useless corner right now. Lastmin has the control over the zone. The strikes are not... Oh yes, the strikes are enough actually to apply penalty, but all of Lastmin is still around the zone trying to fight for it. The Tacticular is deployed again. We're going to get more fight, Brave.
Yeah, of course, penalty this early on, not super important. We need to see these fights, and with a direct from Range Blaster, we have Royal Academy having slight squid advantage here. But zone is still not there. It finally does cap into their favor, and 6 strikes out here on the map, forcing so much chaos, and it comes out in Royal Academy's favor as they get 2 down and then pick another. The pencil does able to punish the Ranged Blaster there off the side of Lastmin, and we have Kyoki on the plat now.
Yeah, it's not stopping right there. Oh, lots of players falling down, 2 down onto Royal Academy. It looks like Lastmin is going to be back onto the zone as Usnight gets punished by Mikey. Mikey getting that huge direct. That is 2 versus 2, but the zone is for the Royals right now. Royal Academy only needs to hold that zone for a few more ticks. 30 ticks left onto the zone. The strikes are all being thrown right now as Lastmin needs to activate now. You can't wait for the next min. And all 3 down. The pencil caps the zone, but they're alone right now as all of Royal Academy are back in control.
Huge zone cap for Lastmin there. It was looking very devastating. They were 2 down. They had a Zipcaster going out, and the pencil was really able to use that distraction to allow them one last chance at getting in here. And look at this chance they do have. They are up with... Okay, yes, the Zipcaster is going to recall. Ooh, we had 2 jumps in grave danger there, but this is going to be another zone cap for Lastmin, and they do have a chance here to kind of stagger these players on Royal Academy.
Yet the fight is not over. Mikey getting one with the blaster, looking to get it. Oh, very nice time. and a triple by Mikey. This is not stopping. What a fight as all of Royal Academy gets back in and keeps that lead. The fight is still around the zone. Last team only need to win that next team fight in order to get that lead back. But all of the Royals are still in there with the strikes onto the zone. It's not stopping Brave.
Yeah, it is not. Royal Academy taking this advantage even further, getting another down the gal that leaves just the sniper, and looks like no one decided to... No, wait, the Stamper did jump into the pencil, but going down as well. They are really only going to have a strike to go in. They are in a lockout position right now. Royal Academy has extreme advantage here. These strikes are going to have to be amazing.
These strikes need to do everything right there. Yusnap getting a splat already, but gets punished for it. 2 down onto last min, and we've just 15 ticks left on the zone. Royal Academy looking to win the battling pool here and there. Ellis getting in with the splash. Ellis needs to paint right now, but this is picked, and that's going to be the tournament for Royal Academy.
Yeah, that is the entire golden paddling pool. Congratulations to... I already forgot. Short-term memory.
Academy.
Royal Academy, congratulations for winning this golden paddling pool. Man, just had a little bit of a brain fart there, but they showed that they were able to hold that advantage. Those strikes were not enough to get last min to go back into mid. They kind of got onto plat, but they really couldn't even pressure the zone there. It was just quite not enough. One special not enough on such a lockout heavy map to get back in.
Yeah, it was really Royal Academy winning fight after fight. And I mean, these blaster moves that we saw in this whole set were incredible. From Mikey absolutely dominating these fights, constantly being a threat. I mean, the one game that Royal Academy lost was because Lastmin was able to get the splat onto the blaster, and it showed really that blaster was everywhere, incredibly dangerous and dare I say explosive in their gameplay.
Absolutely, I agree completely. And that is going to wrap up Golden Paddling Pool 280. Pat, when you were off the mic, when could the good folks find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Padjay or Tom. It's written on your screen right there. You can also find me without the underscores on Blue Sky and Brave. Where can we find you?
Primarily going to be on Twitter with @Brave_SSB. And sometimes in Twitch chat, not that often, but also Brave SSB. Don't really stream, and I will, of course, also be commentating future events as well. So happy to be on the mic here, happy to be commentating here for Paddling Pool, and yeah, that is where find me.
Yeah, we're always happy to have you, Brave, and we're also always happy to have our best observer in the world, Brownie. Brownie, our golden observer. Where can we find you?
I'm very golden. So people can find me at Brownie at my Twitter or at my Twitch. That's everything for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Brownie, and thank you all for watching this tournament again. It's people like you that make Double Productions live, that make us keep doing it. So thank you so much for playing and for watching. We'll see you in the next one.